shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
My bite's not close to my bark, buddy. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement. If they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
Say this right here, baby, because some of y'all be acting like y'all don't be seeing it. But, baby, playing victim in a situation that you created, oh, yeah, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. Hello, somebody. How you gonna create the storm, then get mad when it rain? How you hurt somebody and then get mad that they hurt? How you damage somebody, go outside your way to destroy a person and then get mad when they no longer want to deal with you? Baby, playing a victim in a situation that you created, oh, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. I'm sorry, but it is.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Here's the thing. I knew when I opened myself up publicly on this platform and all the other platforms that I am utilizing to try and share my daughter's story that I was going to catch hell in one way or another. But the reality of the situation is I'm doing everything in my power to get to the bottom of this mystery, to find my child, my firstborn child. I haven't discussed very much what my relationship with my daughter was like, because it wasn't always sunshine and roses and unicorns and raindrops, and it wasn't. We've had a lot of ups and downs. I will say that I have always fought for her whole life. I have been fighting for her entire life. Whether or not she appreciated the fight is neither here nor there. When I fought for her as she got older, she saw it as an intrusion. Times when I was trying to save her from herself and her own apparent self-destruction, she saw that as intrusion, as control, as meddling. Once she became an adult, I had to tread very lightly. I had to walk on eggshells. I wanted to be able to guide her without forcing her. Now she's 18. She can do what she chooses. She doesn't have to have my approval. My daughter is a beautiful soul. Wild and free and willful. And I never once got on here and said, "Hey everyone, I'm the perfect mom and my kid's gone missing, so help me." I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes out the ass. I can't go back and fix them. You let me know where the time machine's at. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do differently. But at the end of the day, we're here now, and she needs our help. It shouldn't matter that she was pissed at me when she went missing. None of that matters. She is gone. And now I have to contemplate what it's gonna be like living life without her. None of it should matter. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna keep plastering my face and her face all over until I get the answers I need. So y'all can hate it and you can hate me all you want. I'm not gonna stop. So keep scrolling.
And I think that's the messaging. Just keep scrolling. This is a mother that, has most likely lost her daughter. Okay. And we're desperately trying to find her. And this is a point where I feel like, social media could really help a family if they so chose, or they can hurt a family if they so choose. And sometimes I wonder, who's really in this to help and who isn't. When things start becoming competitions, are you really there to help a family? This family needs our help. This family needs a lot of our help. And we need to be talking about her. She still isn't found. She still hasn't been brought home. We still don't know what truly happened that fateful day. And her mom's pleading. And every morning we come in and we give a small segment to a young lady named Layla Santanello, which went missing in Kingsport, Tennessee on June 27th, 2023. She was last seen at the Marble Slab Creamery. Here. Get this one up.
Continues for Layla Santanello, which has been missing since June 27th, 2023. She is 4'10", blonde hair, brown eyes. She was about 115 pounds when she went missing. There is a $2,000 reward being offered to anybody with information leading to her whereabouts. Our search continues for Layla Santanello. Check it out.
Just get shit on and shit on. Broadcasting equipment. What? Shoelace, yeah. Let's get up here to at least a little flat here. This looks a little flatter right now.
If you've seen Layla Santanello, you're asked to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Thank you for watching.
So that's our tribute to the Layla Santanello case. We're just still trying to help the family, raise funds. We're still trying to help the family get leads to law enforcement. And find out where Layla really is. She hasn't been heard or seen from since. We all know the statistics. We all know we're rounding 3 months. So, this isn't good. None of this related to Layla Santanello is good, guys. Okay, I don't know how to express it. So when we hear people being nasty to a mother that has most likely lost her daughter, it infuriates me. It infuriates me to a place that it's unnecessary. This world has so much hurt and pain in it. We watch it every single day because people can't control themselves. And then you've got animals on social media that think it's cute to inflict additional pain on a mother that they have no idea what type shoes she's had to walk and how long she's had to walk in those shoes. And then to add insult to injury and not care about humanity. The fact that this woman, that Layla was a human being. She mattered. No matter how we look at this story, she mattered. She's a mom. She's a daughter. She's a friend. And we've got people on here beating her mother up for what? Being a mom that has no idea how to handle a daughter that's on some really significant amount of substances? You know, it's people like that. It's like, you know, they don't even realize they're either older or younger, and they've probably already experienced something like this or will experience something like this, and shame on them for hurting somebody. Why do people think why does it make people feel good to hurt somebody or kick somebody when they're already down? That's what I would like to know in our society. When is that okay? When is that bad behavior okay? And furthermore, why is that bad behavior not being called out? Isn't it funny? We can call out stuff that happened a year ago, 2 years ago, 20 years ago, but for some reason, people are mute when it comes to things and atrocities that are happening right now. Why is that? I just find that awfully bizarre that nobody is condemning this behavior, but they're condemning behavior that happened a year ago? I guess I'm confused about that. I'm very confused about that, quite frankly. I don't understand it. Good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tuesday so far. We've got a lot going on. You know, Layla Santanello, many of you know, is a heartfelt case for me. This is a case that called me. It's a case that has moved me quite a lot. I feel my heart absolutely breaks for this entire family, the entire family. Hearing Layla's story, she was just a kind, beautiful person. I can tell you that the people that we've met that knew Layla has not said anything bad about her. We haven't found one person that said, oh, she screwed me over, or she's just trouble, or, you know, nothing like that. Now, we've heard that about other people, but not about Layla. She was just a sweet person that got caught up into something that she shouldn't have been caught up into, and she may have lost her life over it. You know, I don't know, but we need answers. We need lots of answers. Primarily, we need to know where Layla's at. She could be anywhere. I'm going to be back up there, you know, in several weeks. Actually, I was going to be going back up there like next week, but I think I'm going to delay that an additional week, because there's just some areas that I really want to go into in Tennessee that I can't right at the moment, because we just can't. There will be a point when we can get into the areas that I want to search, but, you know, we've got to let law enforcement do their job. Now, law enforcement, as they told me, now I just want to be very, very clear, so everybody in the back, they have already told me they cannot stop me from doing a search. They cannot stop me from going into their areas that they still need to search. They cannot stop me from doing what I choose to do out there, okay? Because that's the way the law is written. I know people want to say that we're obstructing justice, that we're tampering with evidence, that we're involving... They don't know the law. And they're saying a lot of legal terms they literally have no clue about, okay? First and foremost. Even law enforcement, okay, has told me they cannot stop me from going into those areas. And like I told the lieutenant, I understand that. We all know that you can't stop me. I know that. You know that. Okay. But I also don't want to step on toes, and I don't want to be in areas that you guys still need to look at and search. So that's where we decided we'll stay away from certain areas and we'll focus on these areas. Now, the reason why I'm telling you that is because I don't want it to be manipulated, or, you know, these other channels lying to you that I was told I couldn't go into those areas. That is not the truth. I was told I could go in those areas. As a matter of fact, I was told they can't stop me from going into those areas. Okay. So with that being said, we chose not to, and I want to make sure that that's clear. But those are still areas that are still on my radar, and I still want to check. Now, do I anticipate finding Layla? You know, obviously the goal of these searches is to find her. That is the goal. But there's other goals in the hunt, okay? And those are finding additional people with additional information. That is one of the goals as well, is to identify other witnesses or other people that might have a nugget of information, either to prove or disprove certain information or certain facts or things like that. So I can tell you honestly that we have found information each and every time we've gone down there, or up there for me, right? Because it's Florida. I'm like the most southern point of the United States. Everything is north of me. So we, you know, I mean, the trips haven't been unsuccessful is what I'm trying to get at. And we collectively have areas that we want to be in. And again, I can go into them if I so choose. They cannot stop me. Law enforcement cannot stop me. If law enforcement can't stop me, guess what? Nobody could stop me from going into those areas. I choose not to go into those areas, but this is only giving them enough time to get the resources together and go and do what they need to do. At the end of the day, there's only so much time that we're willing to wait before somebody gets in there. And again, it's nothing I'll be doing will be unlawful. Okay. I just want to make sure that people like to make up things and stuff like that. Like, why does she always have to respond? Because you guys say stupid stuff all the time, and it's so stupid. It's surprising that people listen to it, but since they do, we need to give them a little truth serum. And that's where we're at, is the truth serum phase of this process. As they're going through the acceptance phase, that Bullhorn Betty is here, and we're going to be here for quite some time. Their commentary is getting boring, it's getting old, and they need to find somebody else to pick on and bully and intimidate and stalk and harass. So I'm going to keep hitting that drumbeat as well until it's done, right? And I love it. They create the circus, right? They create the circus. Then I respond like, oh, she responded to me. I've got to make a video about it. Well, listen, B, like if you didn't talk about it and you didn't create the chaos and the drama, I wouldn't be talking about it, because I don't talk about people. That's not in my DNA. That's in your DNA. Okay? The shit show's in your DNA. When I bring the shit show, there's a purpose, and it's not to hurt somebody. It's to get a job done. Big difference. Big difference. But I'll keep doing me. I'll keep doing me. Interesting. Remember how I was just talking? We haven't talked about the Rachel Morin case in a little bit. And I brought up that, Rachel Morin, her case still hasn't been solved. The dude is still on the run. We still haven't done anything with Rachel Morin. We went out there. What a sad story Rachel Morin is. If you guys don't know about this story, so this was a beautiful mom. She's got a lot of kids, like 5 children. And she seemed to be a very beautiful soul. She was beautiful inside and out. And she took a lot of care of her body, So she went to the Maupaw Trail. And this was in Bel Air, Maryland. And she went out, she ran there. This was something that she did frequently. Many thought she was just in a new relationship with a guy. And again, we live in statistics, so statistically, somebody is injured, one of the first people you look at is the people that they surround themselves with, because it's more likely, which is sick, but it's more likely that somebody knows you will kill you before somebody that doesn't know you will kill you. It's statistically proven. But there's still that statistic that people die by unknown assailants. And that is exactly what happened here with the Rachel Morin case. She was jogging in the middle of the afternoon on the Mappa Trail. We were out there, Olivia and I were out there ourselves. Okay, this is a trail. This is a beautiful area. This is not something that or a place that's desolate or it doesn't have a lot of people. There's a constant flow of people all day long through this park. Now, with that being said, I kind of see how, because I was out there and I walked that place for hours, over a couple days. We were out there for the 2 days out there all day long. So I kind of understand how the whole situation happened, because people are constantly running and riding their bike and just walking and enjoying nature and there's people. So putting your earbuds in and running, nobody would think anything of it. Even if you didn't have your earbuds in, or you had your music down so you could hear what was going on around you, hearing somebody jogging up behind you would not startle you, because people are running on that trail all the time and you're having to get over and let the bikes pass, let the runners pass, the people that are walking faster pass. So having somebody coming up behind you would not startle you, because the entire time you're on this path, you're hearing people coming up behind you all the time. And if you're out there every single day, you stop being aware of your surroundings. She was a beautiful woman. I don't know how this man, how he got into that park. Did he follow her into that park? Did he see her somewhere else? Could it have been one of those things, because there's porta potties right outside of that park as you enter it? Could it have been something where a guy just happened to use the bathroom, and as he's coming out, he sees this blonde and decides to follow her in? We don't know. The only thing we know about this assailant is he killed her. He R'd her. He drug her out of the view of people. A young lady found her, a 20-something or younger. I can't remember her age. I know she lived at home with mom and dad. So she was not, I don't think she was in high school. I think that she had graduated. I think she was 18 or above, but I could be wrong. Don't hold my feet to the fire on her age. I don't remember. But she found her the next day and freaked that girl out. That girl probably will never be the same again. We don't know what she saw, but we have to imagine that it was brutal. It was brutal. We heard that there was a blood trail. It was brutal. This woman, this mother, it was unnecessary. I mean, if you're going to R somebody, R them. Why kill them? Why kill them? But his DNA was actually linked. He left DNA at this crime scene, and his DNA was linked. They don't know who he is, but they know he was linked to another crime of a young girl, probably 12 or above. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like it was under a 12-year-old, but who knows? We didn't even get a lot of details on that. That is an assumption I'm personally making. But he was linked. Nobody knows who this guy is, but he's assaulted two people. One was a young girl in LA, and another one that they've linked was Rachel Morin, all the way in Maryland some 5 months later. So this guy is traveling across the country, folks, and we don't know how many other crimes could potentially be linked to him. We don't know. We don't know. But she is dead. Rachel Morin is gone. Her children, her 5 children, will never see their mother again. And we were just talking about how her assailant was gone. Well, lo and behold, Brian Enton decided to cover a story on it yesterday. And so I figured I'd throw this up here just real quick, just to remind us of what this story is about. And remember, we are still on the look and on the hunt for the man responsible for this, which is a Hispanic man between 20 and 30. I believe he's 5'9", 160 pounds, and he needs to be apprehended. He will do this again because he's already proven to do it again. Except the next time he did it, somebody died. And he's on the run again. So trust me, this is only going to escalate from here. This man has no self-control over his sexual being. Okay? He's out of control, and he is going to hurt again, and we need to get him off the streets. Here's the story. Brian Anton! Yay! Our boy. Okay.
Exclusively report that detectives have identified and spoken to the man that arm belongs to. Again, that is a big development considering we knew nothing.
A man. It was a man. Everybody kept trying to say that was a little girl's hand and everything like that. This is where, this is where people need to realize. We here on the Bullhorn Betty, I am accused of making these leaps. I don't make these leaps. I never said that this arm belonged to her. As a matter of fact, I didn't even see the full video for what was it, like a week or two after it was released before I actually saw somebody closing the door. Either way, come to find out, it's a man's hand. How do you let the assailant walk out your front freaking door? I don't get it. But you know what? Get him out of here, right? Get him out of here. We'll deal with it. So I'm interested in this. So let's listen. Let's listen. This is interesting. Interesting break in the case.
About who that arm belonged to. We can also confirm that the reason detectives went to Chicago, we now know they went to Chicago to interview a person connected to the same home invasion assault case. They are not saying if that person was a suspect, just connected. They're not saying if the person they went to Chicago to interview is the person whose arm that is. We're going to try to get to the bottom of it with the sheriff in just a second. Also tonight, Rachel Morin's family is far from backing down on their fight for answers and justice. I mean, can you blame them? It's so awful. The family and their attorney have now given us permission to announce exclusively on the show that they are doubling the reward from $10,000 to $20,000 for information leading to a conviction of the person responsible for Rachel's murder. We can also report the Spanish language digital campaign the Morin family launched last week has reached over 81,000 people as of this morning. More than 30 ads were posted online in Spanish with the suspect photo after.
It's sad though. This is what's frustrating. It's sad that the family has to do all this. Why isn't there resources at law enforcement that's pushing this out? And that's what I said. I don't know if you guys remember early on in this, I reached out to a few of my media friends and asked them, are we doing this in Spanish? Because this guy is of Hispanic descent. Is this being ran on Telemundo? Is this being ran on Spanish-speaking networks? And I don't think it was at the time. I really don't. So this is a good breakthrough. I'm glad that the family realizes that they need to be doing this in Spanish, but there are just some things when families are going through this type of a situation. I just feel that we should have resources. And no offense, and it's not offensive to Morin's family, it's just an observation, okay? An observation. And it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit with this observation. It's like Rachel Morin, she's this beautiful mom of 5. I get it, she's what happened to her should never have happened to anybody. It was horrible, it was horrific, everything. But she's, everybody's raising, she's got $20,000 being raised for her. And I know that there's some of this is being raised by, say, Crime Stoppers. But you got, say, Layla Santanello, which nobody knows where she's at. We know something bad happened. There's no resources out there for Layla's mother. There's definitely no Crime Stoppers funds out there for Layla's mom. And it's very hurtful, it's very hurtful. But it is what it is. And I'm glad, I just want this case especially because this was so heinous, running on the trail in the middle of the day and getting murdered and AR'd and just assaulted. I can't imagine how scary those seconds were. you know, and I have to think that they were seconds. And I think the silver lining of all of it is that it was just seconds. I'm praying that it was seconds and she was unconscious. That's what I hope, you know, because the thought of anything other than that is almost too much to understand or even contemplate for me. You know, it really is. Hey, Crafty Chris. I don't think I said hi to anybody. Hi, everybody. Good morning. Nice to see everybody this wonderful Tuesday. I don't think I went through and said hi to anybody specifically, because I shook things up. I did the Jen Santanello video first before I came in. I haven't even read the language of letting go. We'll get there. We'll get there. So let's get back to Brian. Let's get back to our boy B.
Investigators said that they believe the suspect is Hispanic, and that is helping. There are new tips coming in because the family did that. It feels like all this work is finally getting us closer to a killer. Harford County Sheriff Jeff Gahler is joining me live now. Sheriff, I mean, amazing work. I knew you guys were going to start making progress on this. We knew we just had to wait. I first want to ask you about that arm, because I noticed the arm from the beginning. What can you tell us about who that person is, how you were able to identify that person?
Sure, Brian. And again, thanks for having us on tonight. And again, the opportunity to send this message. We're still looking for this suspect, and any opportunity we have to go national and share this, because we don't know where this guy's laying his head at night. You know, we need people to look at that video, look at that picture, and help us identify him. But indeed, you know, from the beginning, when we had the video, a lot of questions came in about who's closing the door, whose arm is that. And I actually misspoke. I believed it was a female's arm who was in the victim of the assault there. It's actually a male's arm, and investigators had it right. I just had it wrong in one of the earlier interviews. But it is a male's arm, and when our investigators were in Los Angeles, they interviewed many people in reference to what happened out there and tied back to our case. And we were able to speak to that individual as well. And he is not in any way tied to the case as a suspect at all. But he also was not able to provide us an identity of that suspect.
So nobody knows who this guy is leaving this house. Like, this guy just, I mean, this is, to me, it's just, I want more information on how he got in there. You know, obviously these people had Ring doorbell cameras. Was there anybody in the neighborhood that also had Ring doorbell cameras that might be able to give us a different view of this guy? You know, we're looking at the back of this guy's body. I mean, I'm sorry, but the back of a dude's body's a dime a dozen. Go to any gym. You know, most of them have the same haircut, the same, you know. This guy looks muscular. I guarantee he's probably, I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't say guarantee, but I definitely suspect that this guy is in some type of construction type of work just by his build. But he could be a cook of some sort, something like that. But whatever job he is, he's mobile. You know, whether he can quit a job and go work for somebody else, that's in both of those industries. I mean, if you're a line cook, you can get a job just about in any city, town, county, country. I mean, you know, and if you're a construction worker, basically the same thing. You can travel with the construction team, or you can just quit and move and go find, I mean, getting a construction job is literally a dime a dozen. And quite frankly, because of the turnover, you don't know, I mean, there's a lot of drugs and alcohol in the construction industry. So the turnover rate is higher. And then you have, on top of the higher turnover rate, you think because of the higher turnover rate, you really are not getting that background check that you should be getting to do the job. If you know how to do masonry work, it's a skill. Yeah, and you're willing to do it for they don't care who you are or where you came from. They want that job done. You know, and I'm sorry, that's my experience in the construction industry. I've had many years of it in the construction industry. I could, like many of you know, I can wire a house from front to back. You know, so I've got the knowledge and the skill and the wherewithal to know what goes on behind the scenes in construction companies. Okay, that's how Don Wells was able to get his job. You know, and it was very disgusting to me that this man is a prime suspect in his daughter, whether people want to believe it or not. They've never been cleared. At this point in time, 2 years later, if they haven't cleared the parents, their eyes are squarely on the parents. I'm sorry. And people can twist that all they want. We know law enforcement behavior. And if these parents were cleared, they would be standing right next to them at any press conference saying, we need to find out who did this to their daughter. And we've never, ever, in 2 years, ever seen that day come today. Okay? To date, nothing like that has happened. So this idea that the Wells are innocent and law enforcement believes it is hogwash. And anybody spewing that nonsense is full of crap, because we don't just go by words, we go by behaviors. And law enforcement behavior is showing that their eyes are squarely on the parents. And I'm just waiting for the day that those parents are shackled up. That's what I'm waiting for.
Was there a female victim and also a male victim in the assault?
The male subject was not assaulted, but there were other people in the residence. And again, I have to be very careful on what I speak about. Los Angeles is still investigating that home invasion, that assault that occurred out there, and that's an open case for that agency. And just as I wouldn't want them to, be speaking out of turn or incorrectly about our case, I have to be careful and how far I go with what I say. But we have spoken to that person, and with hopes that he might be able to lead us to an identity to match the person in the video. That was not fruitful at this point in time so far.
It's interesting the way he closes the door. It almost looks so calm. And I know you have to be careful what you say, and we don't want to do anything to impede the investigation here. But I mean, did he know the person? Was he able to give you more information about who this person is?
No, he did not know him. At least that's what our investigators have found out so far. That the people in the residence did not know the person who had committed the home invasion and the assault there. But thankfully, they were able to preserve this video evidence, or else, because this happened sometime before our case.
So what we're learning here is that, and this kind of gives this almost a spin, in my opinion. I mean, this is really a turn of events, and it almost makes this whole situation different for me. Why do I say that? And let me ask you guys, are you guys getting echoes when I'm playing these videos? Because I've been going to the replay and I've been noticing that there was an echo in these, and I'm not sure if it's my audio or not, but I can hit the echo cancellation on there just to be on the safe side. I don't know if it's echoing or not. Only you guys can tell me that unless I listen to it. Some of them. Okay, gotcha. So I just hit the noise, the echoing cancellation. Hopefully that'll knock that off. I don't, again, I'm things have been a little wonky on the back end. But what we've learned about this is that there were multiple. And again, this gives it a whole different spin. And now we're asking, how in the world could this have happened? Because they just told us that there was other people in the house when this young girl was assaulted. How did this man get in? And why did they keep him there until law enforcement got there? Like, you just caught somebody in your house assaulting somebody and you're pushing them out the front door. In my family, you would be caged. You would be hogtied on the freaking floor of our living room until law enforcement got there. I mean, I'm being a little, satire, but seriously, like, I don't know if I had a house full of my people, my family or friends in the house, and something like this happened, I don't see that man walking out the door is what I'm saying. I don't see that. That would not be the response that they would get in my household. In my household, had that happened, that man would be on the floor with probably 3 or 4 people holding him down until law enforcement got there. He would not be walking out the door. There would be no door slamming in his face. So all of this stuff, I mean, I'm just not dogging or knocking them. It's just that I think, everybody handles different situations in depending on how things are going for them, right? I mean, it's what's going on for them. You know, they may have been so terrified they just want this animal out of their house. We don't know. I'm just saying my family would have handled it a lot different. I don't see them shoving him out the door. That's all I'm saying. He wouldn't be injured. You know, I'm not saying that we would prescribe to injure unless he resisted. And, you know, trust me, you don't want one of our people, you know, you don't resist. That's all I got to say. But I mean, short of somebody resisting, they wouldn't be injured in my house. That wouldn't be, we don't prescribe to that, but them walking out the front, that would not have happened. That would not have happened. I mean, that man would have had to force his way out that front door. I don't know. Just another twist, you know, another twist that we weren't expecting, I think.
You know, way back earlier in the year, and thankfully, without this video, we wouldn't have this image of our suspect, who again is tied back to our homicide here in Harford County, Maryland, because of the DNA.
Do you know how many people were in the house, Sheriff?
I do, but again, it's more than just the two. But I'm not going to go into great.
See, more than just that. This is new information that we're just finding out about. And how did he get in the house with so many people in the house? How was he able to assault this young girl in the house? Did somebody know him? Yes, Pam, it's strange. Like, I'm not sure how I'm like this. Like usually when I hear information, it starts coming into my brain, and my brain just starts computing it. Like it starts figuring out what that information means for me. And my computer, it's buffering. It's buffering upstairs, right? Like this is not making sense to me, and it's even being. There's just, you know what I think it is? I think a piece of me believes they have a picture of this man. Like, I think that's the missing piece. I think that's what's not making sense. How did all this stuff happen? I think they have to have a different picture of this man that they know. There's just something, like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Because they're pushing him out the front door. It seems to me that he would have went out the way he came in, unless he came in the front door. They said in an article, now I remember reading this, that he did not go through the front door getting in that house. That's what was told to us early on in this with Rachel Morin. I remember that being said. I don't know who said it. I don't know what article it came from. I just remember reading it. I remember reading it because my biggest thing is they have to have a video of this man's face. If they got the backside of him, how did he get in the house? And we were told that he came in a different way. Okay, fine, he came in a different way. But if this house has Ring doorbell camera, there's got to be somebody else in the neighborhood that has Ring doorbell camera. And I have to think that they probably got those camera images. They've got to either see him walking away or they have to see him driving away. So I think that there's an element here that law enforcement's not releasing to the public. And that might be where our confusion is. But for whatever reason, this story from this home is odd for me. And moreover, seeing him pushed out the door from a dude and him looking almost apologetic. I mean, let's go back and look at, he looks like the guy that did this to Rachel Morin, the murderer, the suspect that we're seeing pushed out this door, almost looks like he's apologizing to the people in the home. Are we sure he didn't know somebody connected to that home? Because there's something that just isn't, and it could just be the fact that we don't have all the information might have a lot to do with why it seems a little funky. You know, if we had all the information, it might make more sense to us. But let's go back and look at that, because it looks like he's almost apologizing to the guy at the door. Why would he be apologizing to the guy at the door? And why would the guy at the door be allowing him to leave? I'm confused. Let's Let's watch this. It looks like, now I could be wrong. Let's go back a little bit more. I could be wrong, but it looks like this guy, I don't know what this Mirtha Rice is. They haven't talked about this person, but this image right there, this Mirtha Rice keeps being popped up in here. Does anybody know why they keep showing this person on here? This is not, I don't think this is Rachel Morin. It might be Rachel. Maybe that's older pictures of her. Maybe that's what she looks like without her makeup on. Right there. Maybe that might be her. That's probably her. And it was probably given by. But look at this. This is it right here. I think this is where they show it several times. Yeah. So let's just watch this.
That video, look at that picture and help us identify who's closing the door, whose arm is that. And I actually misspoke. I believed it was a female's
he's just
arm
casually walking. It's weird now that we know that there were more people in that house, and that was not a young woman's hand that was closing the door. It was a guy's hand, or he didn't say boy, he said a guy. So, and we find out that there's more people inside of that home. And he's casually walking away. And somebody says it looks like he has a pillow. It looks like a jacket or a shirt to me. And I think this is where I get the construction aspect of it, because it almost looks like a construction jacket, like one that you would see somebody wearing on a construction job. Let me get this back. Maybe I can blow this up a little bit more. It almost looks like a I don't know, a jacket, because you can kind of see the arm, like right here. Maybe it's a shirt. I mean, because he has pants. You know what? I thought those pants almost looked like sweatpants, but now that I got them blown up, it looks more like fitted pants, like something that would be with a suit. Could that be a dress jacket in his arm? I always thought that those were sweatpants, but I'm blowing them up and they look like they're fitted dress pants. There's, I don't know. There's just something, I'm not sure. There's just something odd. This is not.
The victim of the assault there. It's actually a male's arm, and investigators had it right. I just had it wrong in one of the earlier interviews.
Look.
But
He's
it is a
walking
male.
out backwards. He's walking out backwards, talking to them, but he's doing it nonchalantly. He's half clothed. He's carrying something in his arm that looks like a jacket or something. So, I mean, it doesn't seem hostile. Like, this man broke into the home. He doesn't know these people. He just assaulted a young girl, and he's casually walking out the front door and looks like he's talking to the person at the door. There's something not right here. I don't know what it is, but it's put a 1 in the chat if this is starting to cause like heartburn for you, and 2 in the chat if you think this is normal, this is okay, that, you know, they don't believe like this. The more we're hearing about this LA story, the LA story is starting to cause me confusion and complication now. When we were listening to it, we're like, oh my gosh, a young girl got assaulted. We saw the hand. We thought it was the young girl pushing this guy out of the house because she didn't know who he was and she just wanted him to leave. Now we're learning that that's not the case. She wasn't home alone. There was multiple people in the house. The person that's shutting the door ends up being a male, and he's casually walking away. Something doesn't. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, y'all. Y'all know, you guys come here every single day. You know I'm not one for conspiracy theories. I don't like conspiracy theories whatsoever. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I like true facts, but this is the facts that are given to us, and I'm trying to put these facts into the, make it make sense, right? I mean, that's really what we do with puzzles, right? We put our puzzle pieces together to make it make sense, to see what the picture is once we get all the puzzle pieces together. And this is one that now we have these puzzle pieces and it's now clouded. It's clouded what we originally thought, what we had preconceived in our head, because we didn't have this information before. So naturally, left to our own devices, we're like, okay, he broke into this house, he assaulted this girl, maybe her family came home later and that's why they called the law. Like we were using our own brain to try to make sense of the information at the time, but we didn't have all the information. We still don't. But now we have another nugget of information, and now we're applying that nugget of information and having to move our puzzle pieces around. And now our puzzle is distorted, because to the normal person, we're scratching our heads now and saying, oh my gosh, how did he break into a house with multiple people? How could he assault this girl with multiple people in the house and nobody stopping him? How was he able to walk out the front door, nonchalantly? Even though they shut the door, and you could see that it was kind of slammed at the end where the wreath moved, so that the door was hit a little hard. And we don't want to take away from the victim, but there feels like there's more of a connect for me. Just on this new information. Now, new information may come out that may change my mind again, right? Because my mind's now being altered a little bit from its original thought process, because now we have more information. But it seems like he had more of a connection to this house in LA. That's what, if nothing more, I'm not going to sit there and allege that these people know him or anything. I'm starting to get a clearer picture. It seems like there was an event. I'd like to know whether there was an event going on around this family, whether it was a wedding or what's a quinceañera? Am I saying that right? Something like that, because I, again, thought that the pants that he was wearing was sweatpants, just sweatpants, the ones with the pockets in it that kind of droop. But when I blew it up, it almost looked like fitted dress pants, not jogging pants. And people are asking what's in his hand, and it looks like a jacket. And I thought it was a construction jacket. But now that I'm seeing the fitted pants, was he wearing a suit? If he's wearing a dress suit, did they have an event? Was he at that house because he went to an event with that family somewhere? And maybe they didn't know who he was, but he ended up coming back with a group to the house. It does look like dress pants. I just happened to blow it up here for you guys. And when I blew it up, that's when I almost saw those nice little belt loops around it. And I'm like, wait a minute, those don't look like jogging pants. So I just feel like there's more. I think this LA case might be the case they really need to focus on, because I think this case is going to hold a lot of information. They probably already have some information, but I'm starting to look at this thing a little differently now that we have a little more information. But how can this man get in a house? I mean, we have to ask these questions. How did this man get in the house with other people? What person would break into a house to assault a young girl with a bunch of people around? It doesn't make sense. It's not if he didn't know this girl, it's not a crime of opportunity. As a matter of fact, if anybody was scoping a house and saw all these people in it, it would probably deter them from carrying on with the act. So now that we have this information, I mean, this is like really, I'm feeling a lot with this information. We'll just leave it at that. And I'm sure everybody else is as well. And I could see the ones in the chat that this is starting to make us all feel a little weird.
Arm, and when our investigators were in Los Angeles, they interviewed many people in reference to what happened out there and tied back to our case. And we were able to speak to that individual as well. And he is not in any way tied to the case as a suspect at all. But he also was not able to provide us an identity of that suspect.
So was
See, and that's the most bizarre part. How can nobody know who this man is? Nobody knows who this man is. Nobody in LA knows who this man is. Nobody in Maryland knows who this man is. Like, it's a little difficult for me to believe. It's a little difficult for me to believe.
Was there a female victim and also a male victim in the assault?
Sorry, I didn't.
The male subject was not assaulted, but there were other people in the residence. And again, I have to be very careful on what I speak about. Los Angeles is still investigating that home invasion, that assault that occurred out there, and that's an open case for that agency.
Home
invasion. Just as I wouldn't want them to.
They're classifying it as a home invasion. I don't know. There's just something wonky with that. And I'm not saying he didn't do what he said. You know, I'm not saying he didn't assault this young lady. That's not where we're going with this at all. What I'm trying to explain is I feel like there's more information from that LA case that we're not getting. I really believe that LA case probably holds the key to a lot. And I think somebody, if they don't know who he is, they probably have, there had to have been some type of connection with that many people in the house. There had to have been some type of connection that happened that brought him with them. I just don't see this being the crime, the opportune crime for somebody to break into a house with a bunch of people in it. It just doesn't make sense to us. And I don't think it will. I think there's a lot of information that we're missing, that they're not telling us. We know that. We know that they're not telling us everything. They never do. But there's just something with this. This isn't making sense. Exactly, Snow. It's not making sense. There's something, I feel like there's something more with this LA case. I really believe this LA case is going to be what helps seal the deal for this man. For some reason, I don't know. Even at the beginning, when we first started talking about Rachel Morin, remember I kept saying that I feel like law enforcement is withholding some information from us, like some major information, which I would expect them to do for the simple fact that they are investigating this case. They have to keep the integrity of this case has to be front and center for law enforcement. They can't let leaks happen. Everything matters. But in the same sense, something smells to high heaven. Okay. We're not dumb. Okay. And we know this guy can't tell us a whole lot, right? Because it's not his case. And he's also a chief or a sheriff or whatever he is. And he knows that he doesn't want somebody trampling on his case, and he's going to show the same respect to another police department. So he's really kind of dancing around all of this, but he must have had approval to release some of the information. That's why we're here.
To be speaking out of turn or incorrectly about our case, I have to be careful in how far I go with what I say. But we have spoken to that person, and with hopes that he might be able to lead us to an identity to match the person in the video. That was not fruitful at this point in time so far.
It's interesting the way he closes the door. It almost looks so calm. And I know you have to be careful what you say, and we don't want to do anything to impede the investigation here. But did he know the person? Was he able to give you more information about who this person is?
No, he did not know him. At least that's what our investigators have found out so far. That the people in the residence did not know the person who had committed the home invasion and the assault there. But thankfully, they were able to preserve this video.
Look at him. He's talking to him.
This happened sometime
they
before
slammed the door. They slammed the door, but he's talking to them. He's looking them eyeball to eyeball. This is another problem I have. That boy was talking to him eyeball to eyeball. Where is our drawing? We know we have forensic, you guys know I was just watching Forensic Files, right? I spent Sunday, after church? What did I say? Binge watching Forensic Files. They have forensic people that draw people, and what do they call them? Where, like, this guy saw him eyeball the, where is the markup? Where is the drawing? Where is the sketch? The sketch of the assailant? Where are the physical facial features? You're not finding this animal in our country right now, and you're not giving us enough information to put out there. And God bless law enforcement, but give us something. Where's the sketch? Sketch artist, where is the sketch? This boy came eyeball to eyeball with that man. We're a month later, over a month later, since a woman was brutalized on the Maupassant Trail, and there's not one sketch of this man's face. Let's knock the garbage off and get the public a sketch. You just told us somebody saw him. Face to face. Let's look at this. This man is talking to this person that slams the door. Somebody saw his face. Let's get a sketch artist. Let's get a forensic sketch artist. Let's get a sketch of this animal out to the public. Let's stop this nonsense. Don't want to get too passionate. People will be saying I'm raging over here. Let's go back. I really do. Look at him. He's talking to this person. Let's go back. Okay. Right there. Watch. He's talking to this person that slams the door.
They were able to
right there. He's
preserve
talking
this
to him.
video.
He's talking to this person. This person has a full view of this man's face. Where's the sketch, law enforcement? We need the sketch. We have a woman, a mother of 5, dead, armed, brutalized, drugged. A young girl found this woman brutalized. And somebody, we're learning, saw this man's face. And maybe multiple people saw this man's face. Where is the flippin' sketch of this man's face? Where is it? It needs to come out. Unless we're just waiting for somebody else to be attacked in America. Because I don't want it to be one of my friends, one of my subs, one of my members. Heck, I don't even want it to be one of my haters. This man needs to be off the streets, and he needs to be off the streets. But law enforcement should be giving us the tools necessary to get this man off the streets. Where is the sketch artist? Yep. And not only that, but if this house has Ring doorbell camera, you bet your bottom dollar somebody else in that community has the Ring doorbell camera. He had to have left by car or left by foot. So where is the sketch? Multiple people, we just found out, saw this man. This man brutalized a young girl in a house with people. He specifically, you can see his mouth moving to whoever slams that front door. Somebody saw this. Where is this? We're sick of seeing this animal's backside. Give us something to utilize. Give us something to help you, law enforcement, bring this man to justice. What you're giving us right now is not helping. It's not going to help bring this man to justice. It's just not. Where's the sketch? All right, let's finish this up and then we'll move on.
Evidence or else, because this happened sometime before our case, way back earlier in the year. And thankfully, without this video, we wouldn't have this image of our suspect, who again is tied back to our homicide here in Harford County, Maryland, because of the DNA.
Do you know how many people were in the house, Sheriff?
I do, but again, it's more than just the 2, but I'm not going to go into great detail on something that's not our investigation.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just hoping
and
that
just
if
to
there
let
were
you
more
guys
people...
know, so what I learned, that was one of my exact questions at the very beginning. When we first found out about this released video of the assailant, my question was, he had to get in the house. He most likely came through the front door. But that was debunked for me because law enforcement came out and said in an article, and I heard it was from, I saw a law enforcement speaking it, so I know it's coming from law enforcement. How true it is, I don't know, but it is what the facts are as we know them from law enforcement. And they said that he entered the house from a different location, I think is the word that they used, that he entered the house from a different location than the front door. But they didn't elaborate on what that location was. Was it a sliding glass door? Was it the garage? Was it, we don't know. But there was a few things that were lacking in their reporting. And now hindsight's 2020, and hearing this information, I'm paying closer attention. And a couple things that I'm noticing that were not specified at the beginning of this when he was identified. He has not been identified by name, but he has been identified by another crime. And the one thing that now that looking back on that I hadn't heard, and maybe you guys can correct me, it might just be something I forgot, but I didn't hear that there was forcible entry into the home. That is the one thing. Oh, Miss Lee, mom of 3. Wow. Hello, love. Hello. But that was one thing now that I'm looking back on, I don't recall that ever being stated, that there was forcible entry into the home in LA where this young girl was assaulted. And now that we know more people are there, and now I'm starting to get this vibe, and I'd like to know what time of night this happened. Could they have been at a club? There's something going on here. I don't know what it is, but it feels like there's more to the LA story than we know. And they're probably closer to the suspect in LA than they are in Maryland. I feel like for whatever reason, there is some kind of, I just don't know. It's just confusing. It really is. Let's just finish up what they have to say. Just confusing. There is a big missing piece. Yes, I think that's definitely the sentiments, more so than not.
Hopefully that means more people that you can talk to who can give you like a better idea of what exactly.
He's not running away.
But maybe
He's
they can give more
walking
info
away.
on what his actual face looks like, and maybe push things forward that way. Hopefully, I want to ask you number 2 about this other development that we've learned about, that you actually went out, or one of your investigators actually went out to Chicago as part of this investigation. What can you tell us about that, Sheriff?
There's more of an identifying mark on him that I didn't realize at the beginning, but you can kind of see his nose is like one of his nostrils. Let me find it.
So on what his actual face looks like, and maybe push things forward that way. Hopefully, I want to ask you.
It looks like, you know how you have those people that have this part that's down a little bit further, and their nose kind of goes, like their nostril kind of goes up a little further. He looks like it's possible for that. I don't know. It's just this one spot. Let me see if I can get it again.
On what his actual face looks like, and maybe push things forward that way. Hopefully, I want to ask.
Here, it looks like his nostril right here, giving him more of a pointy nose. But who knows? I mean, it could just be shadowing. It's hard in these grainy videos. That's what's so hard, is a lot of this stuff is shadows. And I know that a lot of the conspiracy channels, they live in those shadows and they try to make something out of nothing. It could simply be just a shadow and not be, his nose. But it almost looks like his nostrils are go up. Like this is more protrusive down here, and the nostril goes up ever so slightly here. But again, it just might be shadowing. It was just something that I noticed, that where his nose seemed to be more pointy than round. But again, shadowing. It could very well be shadowing. But we can definitely agree that this man right here is talking in this moment right here. This man is talking to that person that closed that door. That person that closed that door saw his entire face, saw how far away his eyebrows are, saw how bushy his eyebrows are, saw whether his nose is pointy, rounded, wide, thin, his jawline. Is his face round, square? Something more is going on here. They need to do better here. They got to do better. They came out and said there's multiple people in that house. That means people saw him. We as a public are expecting a sketch at this point. I want a sketch of this man's face. Anything less, I feel, is malpractice on law enforcement. This woman was brutalized on the trail in the middle of the day. Somebody knows what he looks like, and you guys are keeping that from the public. That to me is scary.
Ask you number two about this other development that we've learned about, that you actually went out, or one of your investigators actually went out to Chicago as part of this investigation. What can you tell us about that, Sheriff?
Sure. Information that we learned, our investigators learned out in Los Angeles, led us to another interview that we wanted to do in Chicago. And we wanted to do that in person, cold, without the person that we were coming. Not of a suspect. He is not a suspect in any way. But we still wanted to interview that individual cold and try to get facts from him. And I have to say that, again, that person, we spoke to him. He is not a suspect, but he also was not able to help us identify that person.
Okay. Well, I can just hope that all of these little...
Well, he can't help identify the person by name, but if he saw his face, he can definitely give us a sketch. So I'm still going to be on this sketch thing. I want to see a sketch of this man. We know people saw him now. We know people saw his face. Even that young girl. Why can't she give a sketch? Or did she? Why are they withholding this sketch from the public? You'd have to think that they've already drew one. I would have to think, this is a young girl that was assaulted by a person that did that invaded their home. Serious stuff. Serious stuff.
Little developments are helping us push closer to finding this man who killed Rachel Morin, because that's what we all want, Sheriff. That's what everybody wants.
Photo of her.
100%. We share that desire. Our investigators have worked this case aggressively since August 5th, since August 6th, when her body was discovered here along the hiking trail. And we're far, we're never going to give up, but we're far from exhausting leads that we are currently working. So there's a lot. And as you touched on, the family is working cooperatively with our investigators, letting us know what they're doing. I learned today that they were going to up the reward. Again, I've said if money is the motivator that has somebody turn this person in, then great. There's no amount that's.
And now you know why we're trying to raise the money in Layla Santanello's case.
Too great to bring this guy to justice and put him behind bars.
Yeah, and money does motivate people. We know that. We've seen that on this show. It's kind of unfortunate, but it does. So hopefully doubling the reward, that will hopefully help. Sheriff, thank you so much for joining us.
All right, there you guys have it. A lot. I have to be honest with you. For me personally, I've got a lot more questions than I do answers with this new revelation in the Rachel Morin case. We know that this guy was linked to LA. We learned that early on in the case. By the time Olivia and I got to the Mapa Trail and recorded, he was already identified as being linked to another crime in LA. We went to where she lost her life. And I don't know how to express it, but it's a place of sadness. It really is. It's a place like we went out there and just sat and listened, and you could feel it felt sad where we were sitting. Not every place in that place felt sad, but when we were where she lost her life, it felt sad. But you want to hear something ironic? When Olivia and I had just been talking on the drive there, it was just her and I. Mom didn't come with us on this particular trip, so it was just her and I on the road. The free road, right? And so when you drive like we do, and it's a lot of driving, it you get a lot of time just to sit and chat. And one of the things, I don't know how we got, and it's kind of, you know, it's just so bizarre when you look back on things, and you know, I always believe that there is a divine being out there. You guys know where I am. You guys know I'm a Christian, and God's my savior, and it's one of those things where you don't see God's hand in it at the moment, but once the tape is played through, you see it. And Olivia and I got on this conversation about fireflies, you know, the ones that were the butts light up at night, you know, and we were talking about camping, and I just, you know, I said, you know, it's crazy. Did the government extinct all of our fireflies? Like, I don't see them. Or did we extinct them? Because every time we went out and we saw fireflies, we would catch them and put them in, you know, and let them light up until they died. You know, it just seems so inhumane, but that's what we did. We thought it was interesting. We didn't realize we're hurting a living creature. We just like their butts lighting up. And so it was almost eerie, because we had this conversation. I can't remember the last time I talked about fireflies or thought about them. And for us to just have a conversation about something that we've never done, or that we've never talked about, and then to go out there and actually see what we've never talked about before. So, for example, we were talking about these fireflies. Well, it started getting dark on us while we were filming out there with Rachel Morin. And we didn't see any fireflies anywhere else but where she passed away. That was where we started seeing those fireflies. And lightning bugs. Maybe I call them lightning bugs. I don't know, firefly, whatever they're called. You know what I'm talking about. The bugs that have their light up. I don't know. But they were there. And I was like, holy, I remember looking at Olivia. I'm like, Olivia. She's like, what? I'm like, there's one of those lightning bugs or fireflies, or I think I said fireflies. That's what I call them, fireflies, whatever, you know. And she's like, oh my gosh. It was just that moment of, and we did see them elsewhere eventually, but where we saw them, where they were just lighting up just so much, was right there where Rachel lost her life. And it was just, I don't know, it almost feels a little, I don't know, in a way magical, you know. I don't know how to explain it than that. It's just magical. But I definitely feel bad for her children. I feel bad for her boyfriend. He seemed like he really loved and cared for her. Looking forward to the future with her. I can't imagine something like this happening. But when it does, the loved ones are the first ones looked at. But they're the first ones looked at, and they're the first ones cleared, you know? So it's not like that stigma is hanging over them for forever. They're cleared very quickly, and you move on. That's why it's so important when we hear that Don and Candace have not been cleared. Those are the first people. Those would be the first people law enforcement would go out of their way to clear. 2 years later, they've never been cleared. Out of 2 years, Don and Candace have never been cleared. But Rachel Morin's boyfriend was cleared. Brandy and Tyler were cleared. All these other parents across the country that have missing children have been cleared. But somehow Don Wells and Candace Bly haven't been cleared. But for some reason, we have people on the streets here and on YouTube that believe these parents that have lost every single one of their children due to neglect and just being crap parents somehow should be hailed the parents of the year. Those monsters on YouTube have supported monsters for 2 years. And when they are arrested, they're going to have to swallow that very big and jagged pill of helping a monster that did unthinkable things to their daughter. And it's not something that I like. Another little tidbit of information in the news. I don't know how this happened. And, you know, I was hoping that it would be more of a spicier case, but at least justice is coming after 31 years to, or 32 years to one person, a man that tried to kill somebody in New Orleans 32 years ago. Was attempted. The person survived, but has had major problems from the attack ever since. So never quite recovered. Okay. But this man was not successful. He wasn't able to take the guy out. He caused major damage, but thank God the guy was saved. This other guy went to court, was going to be convicted. He was going to have his verdict read and flees. Just gets up, doesn't make it to court, and leaves, and nobody is able to find him. From what I hear, law enforcement kind of heard he was in Mexico, but I don't know if they just never looked, if they couldn't find him, if they weren't getting cooperation from the Mexican government, whatever the laundry list of possibilities could be. Maybe it was because he's out of the state of the United States and they don't feel like extraditing him. They don't feel like searching for him. God knows what the reason is. But whatever the reason is, he's been sitting in Mexico all this time. And then lo and behold, they decide that they finally got enough tips that they need to go check it out. So FBI New Orleans Bureau announced last week that Greg Lawson was located and apprehended, and I can't pronounce this word, but I'm going to try. I don't know, Mexico. It's a weird name, Mexico. I don't speak Spanish. I can't do it. Can't do it, guys. On Tuesday, September 19th, the 32-year manhunt. Agents found him after receiving a tip through, though they suspected since the start that he was likely south of the border based on various tips and alleged sightings. So they've been hearing this over the last 30 years and didn't even check. I mean, that's what it's saying to me, but I'm just putting words in people's mouths. That's all I'm doing this morning is just putting words in people's mouths. Okay. So FBI shared a video September 21st of Lawson getting escorted into a building and being handcuffed. KTBS, Lawson shot Seth Garlington. He survived, but left him seriously injured. The two reportedly got into an argument, and Lawson made Garlington drive off the road. Lawson then shot him. Lawson went to trial in 1991, but he didn't show up to court to the day of the verdict. Officials reportedly located his car a few blocks away, but Lawson was nowhere to be seen. Doug A. Williams Jr., special agent in charge of FBI New Orleans, said in a statement, "We want to thank our partners and the public in this case who never gave up hope that justice could be served for Mr. Lawson's victim. There is no doubt that Mr. Lawson might be in the wind if our partners in Mexico had not been willing to deal with this so swiftly." 32 years is not really swiftly, but hey, I digress. We got a bad guy off the street. 32 years later, did some serious stuff over something really stupid and petty, I'm sure. Arguments are not reasons to unalive people. That's not how we handle. It's not how grown-ups handle situations. There's a lot of things like, hey, just chalking it up to a bad experience and moving on, right? So there's a lot of things to be said in this case, but either way, it is what it is. And somebody had sent me this, and I just wanted, I love my audience, and I love when they send me articles and stuff like that. We did cover this article once before, and just wanted to make sure that we circled back to it because, in this day and age where we have, HT, ST, everything, our children are becoming prey to these sickos. Okay, they're becoming prey to these sickos. Our women our women are becoming prey to these sickos. Our kids, all of our kids. Okay, we're not going to differentiate between male or female when it comes to our kids because they're all targeted, all of them, this day and age. Okay, So when we start hearing a lot of children are missing from certain areas, naturally our ears start perking up and we're wondering why. Now, this article is from many, many months ago. It's circling around because they did an update on this September 26th, which was just recent, so today. So they did an update on this just recently, but this article was actually from months ago. I remember watching this because the retired cop that was looking into this has started their business and is looking into this. Now, I do want to provide, and I know that some people might get angry with me about saying this. There are some people that are ultra sensitive out there, but I'm just a person that just says it like it is. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and walk on eggshells or sugarcoat it, but this is the reality of the situation. This is not uncommon. I know people are like, oh my God, it's 1,000 people. Unfortunately, and I'm saying this in all reality, this is not uncommon. This many kids, I looked at our numbers here in Florida, is crazy. There's a lot of kids that run away, that get put on these rosters. Now, our runaway kids are just as important as our abducted kids, and here's why. Because our runaway kids, although they left home willingly, they can find themselves in situations they did not expect to be in. So they are just as much of a prey as the children that are being abducted. So just because these children are running away doesn't mean they're not at great risk. They are at great risk. And sometimes they are in more risk because they don't realize the risk they're getting themselves into. And they don't realize the decisions that they're making because they're angry with mommy and daddy are about to change the rest of their life. But we still have a problem going on in this country, and we need to find out, are these runaways, or is there a bigger picture here? Guys, our border is wide open. And no matter how we look at the situation, we're letting people that we don't know into our country. And these people, not all these people have the best intentions at heart. Not all these people coming into our country over the border are just wanting a better life for themselves. Some of these people are coming over here to take us away from here for some kind of sick, twisted underbelly of society that's in this world. And without proper numbers, and this is what I've been hitting on even when because I got to go to our legislatures. This was a meeting where all of our decision makers for Florida, our politicians, our Florida state representatives, our national representatives, all these people are in a group and we get to speak to them. And one of the things that I spoke, which I was approved to speak before them, there was a couple things that I discussed, and one was the cyberbullying, and the other one was the need to get our numbers correct on the HT, because we're being told that this stuff is blowing up in all these places. But when you look at the actual numbers, what they're reporting, what law enforcement is reporting, it's reporting that this problem is not existing. We were told that Myrtle Beach was the hub of this HT. It was the HT capital of the United States. That's what I was told. I happened to be there for a political event. I decided to go there and just check it out. You know what they had listed? They had 19 cases. 19 cases. That's not the true number. That is so ridiculously low that how can we make policies or have directives or have laws for a situation when we don't even know what we're looking at? The numbers aren't right. They're not doing this right. They're not reporting it right. And I'm talking about law enforcement across this country is not reporting these cases appropriately. And if we're not reporting these cases appropriately, then we're not going to be able to fix the problem, because we in the government, okay, the government, not we, but the government lies in statistics. They lie in numbers. So if they don't have the numbers, then they can't make the necessary changes. So the first thing is reporting and finding out what the true issue is. What is the true number? How is it affecting us? We definitely know with the Sounds of Freedom, we know that they're picking kids up off the sides of the roads all over the world and bringing them back here to our sick people here that reside in our country. But are they also picking up the kids on our streets? And that needs to be our major question. We don't want any child anywhere in this world being abducted for some sick, twisted freak. But we definitely don't want any of our children falling victim to what we see going on around this country and around this world. So something's got to be done. And the first thing is we've got to get our numbers right. This is baffling, hearing numbers like this coming out of Ohio. It's gut-wrenching. This is happening this is not unique to Ohio, is what I'm trying to say. If you look at all of our state's numbers, they're ridiculously high, and we need to find out why. And we need to put laws in place to protect our children, all of our children, boys and girls, because in this sick, twisted, messed up world, it doesn't matter anymore. So I had a little bit of, I don't know, kind of like, that makes me happy. One of those, that makes me happy moments. In all this ugly, that makes me happy. Somebody just said that they saw me in season 2 of it's on Netflix. I am. That was from an interview I gave to a local news organization about the turtle lamps. And I was actually surprised that I made a debut in that clip. Wasn't expecting that. Wasn't expecting that at all. We got a few things coming out before the end of the year that I am in. That wasn't one of them. So it was kind of interesting seeing Bullhorn Betty on the big screen, and I was so happy, that was just a very unique experience being there. It was crazy. That Alec Murdaugh, I don't think the videos or the photos, it doesn't do it justice. It was overwhelming and breathtaking to see the amount of people that were at that auction house and the amount of money people spent. This stuff went, some of these things went over their original cost by 10%. No, not 10%, like 1,000%, 10 times what the original cost was. They were selling little antlers that hang up on the wall that you can literally go to any farm across South Carolina and probably find it on the side of the road. Okay? Antlers. Not the head, just the antlers. $600 for a small thing of antlers. Not the whole lot. Just one. He had 50 of them there. He probably spent, I don't know, $100 putting it on the little wood piece. Put it up on his wall. Probably got the antlers for free. $600. It was the most insane. Like a Jell-O mold. I saw the Jell-O mold, Pioneer Woman Jell-O mold. It was at Walmart. I knew exactly what it was because I had looked at it myself and I was going to buy it. And I was thinking, when is the last time I made that effing Jell-O mold? And I'm like, do I really need this? No, I do not. Right? No, I do not. So I didn't buy it. But I remember exactly what it cost. It was $19.96 at Walmart. I know what it cost. I remember I had just looked at it. Do you know that Jell-O mold went for over $60? $60 at this auction. I'm not lying. So, yes, I am in. I have Bullhorn Betty has debuted in the Alec Murdaugh saga. Well, what does it really surprise you? I mean, I'm out there screaming at him. People didn't even realize That's my voice when he's going out to the van. Are you happy you're out of jail, Alec? That's my voice. You didn't see me, but that's my voice. So we had that, and then they had just this. I mean, it was just like 2 seconds of me talking about the turtle lamps. They didn't even get the whole segment in there, which is fine. I think they just liked how I said turtle lamp, and that's why they cut it in there. It might be from one of the producers I'm already working with, and they decided to throw me in there. Who knows? But either way, that was pretty interesting. So this here is really making me happy because Alec Murdaugh. This is why, this is the one, me, I'm a DP, I'm an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth type of person. That's just where it has nothing to do with revenge. I know people always want to say that it has something to do with revenge. It has nothing, absolutely, for me, nothing to do with revenge. It has to do with the right thing. You took a life, you give a life. It is just that simple. That's just how I believe, right? You steal a buck, you give a buck. You take a life, you give a life. Okay, that's just how I am. It is what it is. Nobody's going to change that about me. That's just how I feel. It has nothing to do with revenge. It's you made a conscious effort to take somebody out, to take somebody off this earth. You knew what you were doing, and you knew there was going to be consequences, and you chose to do it anyways. Then you need to realize those consequences. That's where I come from. Because you know what? At the end of the day, we all get angry at somebody. There's been a time and a place that we all wanted to kill somebody. Somebody has made us so angry that life would be better with them off this earth. Let's be honest. But none of us are murderers, right? Why? Because we would never allow us to do that to another person. That's why. But I wanted to see Alec Murdaugh DP'd. I did. For what he did, his own son. That is the most depraved. I think when you can watch a child, raise a child, put diapers on that child, teach that child to say his first words, teach that child to take his first steps. And then you can go and blow his freaking that is something different than somebody that doesn't know him or even somebody that doesn't like him doing it. You raised that boy. You watched that boy come into this world. You loved him. And you can take him out. Like that, to me, is more dangerous than a stranger taking out because they don't have a relationship with that person. Alec had a relationship with his wife and his son and could take a gun and kill them. That to me is more depraved in my mind and in my eyes. Maybe not in yours. Like I know for Dolly, he's like, well, if she kills her own kid, it's okay. But if she kills somebody else's, that should be... No, I'm just the opposite. Like, I think it would be easier to kill somebody that you don't have feelings for, you don't know, you have no connection with. I would think it would be harder to kill somebody that you love and know. But again, just my thought. I don't know, Deanna, how people can kill their own kids. I don't understand. But then the flip side of that is how can kids kill their parents? There's something going on in this world, not in this world, in the United States. There's something going on in the United States that has our people devaluing humanity and devaluing life. I don't know what it is, but there is a cancer growing that people think if they don't like you, they can just take you out. It's a cancer. It's infectious. Yeah, I do believe that. But what's giving me a little bit of comfort when it comes to Alec Murdaugh, we know he got life in prison. He's fighting it. He's dragging the clerk and dragging Judge Newman and all this other crap, which we know. I'm sorry, I don't believe him. I don't believe them. I know that James Griffin and Dick Hartpullian, I know they're defense attorneys and they're working for their client and they're doing what they can to protect their client's interest. Okay. So I'm not blaming them for any of this, but they still are dragging the clerk and the judge, and I don't believe it. So he's basically saying he's haunted by his wife and son all day, every day, all day, every night, like all day and every night. You know, he's just being haunted by them. And that's the one thing I honestly can say that brings me peace in my soul, is to know that he, even though he did not get DP, he is being haunted. That brings me happiness. That brings me happiness because I know when he closes his eyes, he sees the blood. He sees what he did. He can never, ever, for the rest of his time on this earth, will he ever be able to rid himself of those images. You know why? Because he did them. He inflicted them. And now he doesn't have the drugs to keep all of his feelings at bay. He's having to live it. He's having to breathe it. He's having to see it. He's having to know he did it. And that brings me joy. Disgraced South Carolina attorney Alec Murdaugh admitted he is haunted by the memory of his wife and son he murdered as he was given 2 life sentences Friday morning. Before reading the sentencing, Judge Cliff Newman said to Murdaugh, "I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during your nighttime when you're attempting to go to sleep and reflect on the last time they looked you in your eyes." And I'm just sitting there thinking, you know, how creepy that is. You know, just think about it. He was out there with his family, acting like nothing happened, chasing the dogs, everything like normal. And he reaches up and just starts gunning his family down. I can't imagine how scared they were those split seconds. That's what haunts me doing these cases. I have to be honest. One of the hardest parts is, you know, thinking about what the victim went through, those split seconds. And just like Rachel Morin, it's like, I almost hope that she was knocked unconscious, that she had no idea what was going on. That's the only thing that provides peace in my being when it comes to Rachel Morin, is I just pray that she didn't know what was happening, that she was hit so hard and knocked unconscious immediately that she just didn't know. She didn't realize. That's, you know, and I think we're probably going to find out. Maybe she did know, and that's going to break my heart. It really is. Sometimes, you know, as weird as it sounds, you know, you don't want anything like this happening to anybody. But if it does, you just hope it was quick. I mean, that's really all you can really want. I'm going to do something. We're getting close to the end of the show. And then I'm going to turn on the voicemail, but I'm going to try putting this up. I got to identify an issue. We got the internet fixed up now. I just got to identify the issue with my sound box, my sound card. So give me just a second. Do I have these in the right ear? No, I do not. Okay, give me just a second. All right, this is on, and then I've got to go over here and change my settings real quick and see if this causes me issues or not. It just is not going to pick up my microphone for some reason. I don't know why. It just will not do it. Did anything come from the young man who died by his car? Tenzie, hey love. Did anything come from the young man who died by his car? I'm unsure what young man died by his car. I'm unsure. I just don't know. Aw. Thank you. 16 months. Wowie, 16 months. Say what? I love it. I didn't even see it. I just happened to see something over there on my starred side. Give me just a second. I don't know why my mic will not pick up the mic, but let me just refresh this and see if we can. Hopefully, it's not a mic issue, but it might be. All right, I'm back. Let me see if I can fix my audio now. Probably won't let me. I don't know why. Nope. All right. Well, I'm not going to keep messing with it. So it is what it is. I guess we'll be rolling on here. Can you guys at least hear this? I'm sure you probably can. It's just not picking up my microphone. So this right here is not really working. It's coming through my audio. Okay. Either way, let me just get through this. So we heard that Bryan Kohberger was following. Actually, before we get in Bryan Kohberger, let's do something real quick. I know that there's still like 195 people in here. We are doing the drawing for Crotchgate, Flygate. This is what had happened is there was a ridiculous legal argument about why cameras should not be in the courtroom of Bryan Kohberger, and it's now because one person focused. I don't know what apparently they found a photo that focused on his crotch. Now, does that mean that they're always focused? Of course not. It was just the most ridiculous argument that I had ever heard of in my life. We understand why they have to argue for their their client, and we understand. We understand. We have no qualms with that. However, with that being said, it was a ridiculous argument. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Ridiculous argument's a ridiculous argument. So this was the funniest thing I think I have ever seen in my life. So we made a thumbnail contest out of it. We thought it would be fun for our audience to get a little creative. They'll win a shirt. It'll kind of embellish the whole crazy, crotch. We can have cameras in here. They're focusing on his crotch. He should be able to come in here and defend himself without having cameras focused on his fly. He's too fly for a white guy. He can't have photographs of his fly. Fly, crotch. Okay, so it was hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't keep a straight face to try to even discuss it. Now, you guys know me. I've got a straight face. I look angry half the time because I can keep a straight face and talk, right? And I can pierce your soul with my stare if I so chose. I know what gifts I got. Okay? I couldn't keep a straight face. I literally couldn't keep a straight face when I'm trying to talk about this argument before the court. I tried. I'm dying. I had tears rolling down my face. Totally unprofessional. I get it. But some of these things are just that funny. So we decided to do a thumbnail contest. The thumbnail contest went out yesterday. People did vote on it. So we are going to actually be tallying the vote right here. I was meaning to do this at the beginning of this, but we had so much stuff going on that I did not have an opportunity to do it earlier. So we are going to do it now. Before we go over to the Bryan Kohberger saga, Crotchgate, whatever. It's still a funny argument, guys. I'm sorry. You know what? At the end of the day, we are going to run that clip. Actually, you know what? Let me run that clip now. Run that beautiful bean footage. Oh, run that beautiful coffee bean footage. There we go. There we go. We're just a bunch of coffee beans. We're just a bunch of beaners over here. I can't believe I said that yesterday. I did not mean to. For the love of God, I did not mean to. All right, where's the funny video? So I think I'm going to start out with this first because then it'll kind of bring everybody to why we're here. I think if you guys know why we are here, you'll understand it a little bit better. And this is truly the clip that I just couldn't. I couldn't stop laughing. I could not keep a straight face. I could not discuss this to my audience without dying. Okay, so I'm sorry. We had to do something with that. Hate me. Ooh. Here it is. Let me see if I can blow it up just a little bit. Hold on. I know I can. Let's do it.
This case, you know, I'm very emotional when it comes to the Brian Kohberger case. Very emotional. We were out there, you know, we had an opportunity to really get to know the victims of this by the work that we did. And so this case I really, really, really take seriously. But there are just some things that I'm just like, you've got to be joking. Like, you have got to be stinking joking. Are you joking me right now? So Brian Kohberger's claims media are focusing on his crotch. I can promise you. They're probably taking the cameras off your face because you've been complaining about it being in your face. And there's only so many things that they can focus on. Just saying. I doubt your crotch is newsworthy at all. So Nancy Taylor, Jay Logsdon, Brian Kohberger, really? You got nothing we want to see, babe. I can assure you that. That's probably why you're in the position you're in, Mr. Kohberger. Like, none of us, and I mean none of us, want to see that. But for the love of everything that is holy out there in the world, where would you like them to focus the camera? I mean, how picky are we going to be about this? So it's focusing primarily on his face. Now it's not that. Now I guess all these thumbnails out there on the streets of YouTube and abroad must be, you know, having these crash shots. The people here on social media, we don't care about his crotch. Maybe I need to become a content creator and quit my day job.
Brian Kohberger recently argued that cameras in court are focusing too much on their client's crotch and should be removed from future hearings, including a claim that some cameras have been targeting his fly. Mr. Kohberger is entitled to defend himself against capital criminal charges without cameras focused on his fly.
How can you keep a straight face?
Social media post that appears at page 3 of his motion. No photographs or camera coverage focused on Mr. Kohberger's fly.
This is the funniest shit I have ever heard in a case in my life. OMG. I'm wondering if I should intervene in the court hearing. But should we be intervening so we can focus on his crotch? Now, no matter what. Every time he walks in, our eyes are going to go directly to his crotch. He's going to walk in, watch. I guarantee it. We're going to be on crotch watch now. Crotchgate? Should we call it Crotchgate? Crotchgate 2023? We have to give props to mainstream media because I really don't know how they keep a straight face. We're going to be on crotch watch now.
So there you go.
Customs and Border Protection.
There you go. So there is where the thumbnail contest came up with Crotchgate 2023. It was the most ridiculous argument that I have heard in my true crime career, actually in any legal respect I've ever had. I have never argued about cameras focusing on someone's crotch. I've never been asked to make an argument like that. I've never prepared something for the attorneys I worked for related to crotch watch. I've never, this was the most ridiculous legal argument that I have. God bless them for making us all laugh, and the laughing continues. So now we are at Crotchgate. We have thumbnails in, and we are going to calculate them up and find out who the winner chicken dinner of the Bullhorn Betty t-shirt contest is. So who will be helping? Actually, let me get a pad of paper. I will be helping. All right. let's see. So I got 6 and 5 out of order. So hopefully that didn't screw anything up. So we have a 3. So let me just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 1 for number 3. We have 1 for number 2. I'm late. Not 1 for number 3. Another 1 for number 3. Another 1 for number 3. We have a 5, a 7, another 5. We've got a 4. We have a 1. We have a 5. We have a 7. We have 2 more 5s. We have a 6. We have a 3. None. Okay. A 2. A 1. A 5. We have another 5. Another 3. A 2. A 5, a 3, a 3, and a 3. Wow. So it was a tight race. Everybody did an amazing job on the thumbnail. The winner, chicken dinner. Who is number 3? It's Crotch Shot. It is Oprah. Oprah was number 3. All right. Jennifer is the winner chicken dinner. So Jennifer, you go ahead and get with Sonia and pick out a shirt. Give me just a second. Whatever you decide, Sonia, for the shirt, whatever they want, just tell me what I owe in the shipping, and I'll get that over to you as soon as possible. So Jen, get with Sonia, figure it out, whatever you guys want, and give me a bill. And congratulations. That was a little fun. I know it went on longer than it should have, but either way, I thought that was great. And definitely, let me go ahead and pull up the original so we can go ahead and everybody can see the winner chicken dinner. And as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, believe it or not, I actually think this one was the actual first entry that we received. I could be wrong. The first 3 or 4 entries that we received, I put it up on the see if I can get this. No, I don't want that from your computer. Yes. Upload. Okay. Here we upload. And of course it won't let me upload. Okay. So I'm gonna stop this screen share and share another one. I hate this. I hate them doing this. I should be able to have like several screens up at one time to bounce back. Okay, so there we go. Here it is. There is the winner chicken dinner right there. You get a crotch shot. You get a crotch shot. You all get crotch shots, right? Because we know Oprah Winfrey, she gives it all away, right? She gives it all away. So perfect thumbnail. God bless you. Way to go. I'm super stoked. Thank you for all that participated. And for the ones that got theirs in late, I'm really sorry. I would have, to be honest with you, I didn't care who participated, whether it was hate channels or people that don't like me or whatever. They could have participated, and we did get one cut that came in, but it came in after like the very, very last deadline, and it came even in a week after the last deadline. So I couldn't put that up. I thought it would be unfair to the other contestants that had their thumbnails in on time. But I can tell you that the other thumbnail received was a very good thumbnail. It really was. And it was from somebody that we wouldn't have expected to participate. So again, really happy about that. Now, I told you guys that we were going to be bringing, I don't know when this is going to happen. I don't know if oh, wait, take this off. Sorry, I've stopped the screen up. I don't know if Aileen is in the chat. I tried to unblock the channel I thought she was, so she might still be blocked on everything. So I'm going to have to try to get with her. If she's in here and you can just write and let me know that you're in here, and I'll pull you up here if you want to chat today, or if you want to do it tomorrow, or whatever you would like to do. And I think that's about it. So the last thing I was really going to do was just open up. We haven't had the phones opened in a while. So I thought maybe opening up the phones, if you guys had anything. I know we covered quite a bit from Layla Santanello. We've talked about some of other things that are going on. And there was something else addressed yesterday, and I've been thinking about whether to address it here. Sorry, my lips peel so much. Whether I was going to address it here or if I was just going to kind of let it go, because I just don't see what good it's going to do. But you guys know, when I get cases, I take them and I hold them close to my chest, you know. And here with Layla and Layla Santanello's mom, Jen, and seeing everything she's going through has been very bothersome for me, you know, because when things like this happen and people go missing, or people, you know, are murdered, or whatever a number of other things are, we as a community should be coming out and helping and rallying our support around the families that are dealing with the most difficult time in their life. This is not a competition. This is not where we withhold information. Everything I get, I give to Jen. Jen distributes it as she chooses. We literally hold nothing back from the family. We don't, you know, if George or Brittany called me today or tomorrow, I would tell them exactly what I tell Jennifer. It's neither here nor there. But somehow or another, and this is why I tell anybody, and this is going to be my drumbeat from this point forward: stay away from internet PIs. Stay away from them. They are absolutely no good. All they're in it is to exploit your situation, because by nature, PIs don't want to be known. Okay, their business is not to be public. It's not to be broadcasted. It's not to be the eye of attention. What a PI wants to do is be under the radar, out of the limelight, be able to kind of exist in this area. So if you're trying to be a PI, and you are a PI, the PIs I work with, they don't want to be publicly, they don't mind going on and talking about a case here or there, but they're not wanting to be public with their cases because it hinders their ability to get information. This is well known. This is very, 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 very much well known. So trying to have somebody out in the limelight, it doesn't make, and especially when they're trolling missing person cases to find clients. So they're actually hunting for clients. And then they approach a family and say, hey, you know, I really think I can help you. You know, my name's so-and-so. I'm happy to do this pro bono for you, you know, at least get you some information, And then you find out it's not that. It's, well, why don't you go ahead and start a GoFundMe? You know, I'm going to need some airfare here, airfare there. And it went from that to now, oh, we have all of this groundbreaking information that nobody else has, but we're not going to tell anybody about it. And this is the game that a lot of people fall prey to when they deal with these online PIs. So nothing's getting done. Everybody's being bamboozled. And then it becomes a competition of who has the most information and who doesn't. Meanwhile, there's still a 20-year-old, 21-year-old girl missing while you guys are playing these games. There's still a 21-year-old girl missing while you guys are playing these games. The one thing that I can honestly say I'm thankful for in my communications. Now Jen doesn't know me. She doesn't have to take my suggestions at all. But if there is a situation, I will provide a suggestion. One of my suggestions to her was to get a PI in her state and in her community, one that can be there, that can work and not have to waste money on traveling, because every time they have to spend $1, you're spending $2. Okay. So it's very important that you have somebody nearby, close to you, so you can get as much bang for the buck as possible. That's why people don't usually use PIs from different states, because it's too costly. So now we went from it being pro bono to, oh, you need to raise money to help pay for my expenses. But I advise that, get a local PI from Tennessee. I didn't make a suggestion to any specific PI, anybody that I've worked with. Quite frankly, when I was asked, do I have any suggestions? I don't know anybody in Tennessee that I can recommend, because I've never worked with a PI in Tennessee. I've worked one in New Hampshire, worked one in Texas. I've worked with one in Utah. I've never worked one in Tennessee. I don't know somebody in Tennessee. So I told her, I said, I don't know, but, check with your friends. Maybe somebody has a good recommendation. You want somebody that you trust to give you a good recommendation on who you choose to hire. So just to let you know, I was fully removed. All I said was, I think you just need a PI. I didn't know that this Yahoo was involved with the other parents, or even being in the mix or talking. I had no idea. I just knew whatever PI they were using wasn't giving them the right information, because I heard what they were receiving for information. I went there and that was not the information I got. So I don't know how I can, what I can say, but I'm just saying that the information, I know what I got, right? I know I'm there, and there is there's information that's not what you're saying. So long story short, I said, whoever's doing this, I had no idea it was him. So he took offense to it and decided to blast me all over Twitter over lies. But it wasn't that. It was I was grifting. Well, I haven't collected any money, so how am I grifting? But the goalpost kept changing. It was never about me grifting. It was about how good he was, how much better he was. Competition. But I'm not going out there. I'm not going out there until somebody pays for me to go out there. Then how do you know any of this? This guy's an idiot. And so I did not know, because, again, Jen and I don't talk very often. And unless I'm coming there to search or, need to coordinate with her or something, I don't talk to her on a daily basis. I don't find out information. I'm literally learning a lot of this case on the Help Find Layla Santanello Facebook group, and what Jen is posting on her TikTok. That's where I'm getting a lot of my information, no different than you. I've got no upper hand. The only upper hand I have in this is the fact that I go out there and I'm getting information and relaying whatever I find back to Jen when I'm there. That's it. Well, this last, I'm in the Facebook group, and I see this post in there, and her wanting to come out and talk about what was going on with Steve and SF Investigates and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, this is the Yahoo that was kicked, that the family, Kylie Rodney's family, he's going to lie to your face and say he was kicked out of it. He had to shut his Twitter page down for I don't know how long. He kicked everybody out of his Twitter page. He was highly embarrassed. He did it to himself. And then he's got this group of online whatevers now as part of his team. I'm wondering if they're getting paid for the shenanigans, but either way, I digress. And they have attacked Layla's mom. They have They're now withholding. Well, I don't think he has any information. I think he's just lying about the information to make himself look like he's doing something to get money. That's what I think it is. And so now he's saying that he has all this information, but he's not going to give it to Jennifer, the mother of this girl. So my question is, are they out there really to help this case or help themselves? Because it's surely, as I had predicted early on in this case, it surely feels like they're looking out for their interests and nobody else's. And then this Yahoo decides to come into that chat and tries to become a member so he can address it. No, you've addressed enough, sir. I think you've done enough. If George and Brittany have, faith in you, that's their faith to have in you. But your behavior sucks. Your professionalism sucks. And if you come after this family, if you come after Jen, you're going to have a lot of problems, sir. I can promise. You may want to just slow your roll because remember, you are a licensed PI. And I'm sure that there is a lot of news organizations out there eager to interview you over the 14 people that you supposedly brought home. And please do not forget, I do stir up one of the best people that can get a lot of attention to something. There is nobody better than me. So please, this is going to be my final request. Work with George and Brittany. Stop hindering this investigation. If you have information, release it. This is not a competition. Somebody's life matters here that you're toying with. And if George and Brittany are okay and comfortable with you playing with their daughter and their daughter's life, like you are, that's on them. That's on them. But I hope that stops. And don't ever use this guy, ever. Guys, if you see him, you need to be warning these people of this person and what he does. He's a con man with a PI license. Does he do work at PI? I'm sure he does. But what makes me think that he's a con man, and why my opinion is that he's a con man? Because he trolls missing persons. He tells them that he'll help them for free, but it's not for free. It's, oh, I need traveling expenses. Let's see how many channels we can get you on to raise funds for me to come out and help you. That's exploitation of a family, SF investigates. Exploitation. Exploitation for financial gain. So, again, I prayed on whether I was going to bring it up. But this came straight from Jennifer. I found out about it yesterday, late yesterday. I don't know which one of you guys sent it to me, but somebody sent it to me. And it's exactly why I tell people don't mess with these people on the internet. This is the nonsense. This is the drama that cases do not need. What is Steve doing to help with attacking Jennifer Santanello? Nothing. What kind of pig would withhold information from a mother? A pig. An unprofessional pig. A donkey. That's who. We don't play with PIs like that. I'm going to always say this, and I'm going to say this because I am truthful with my audience. If you have a missing or murdered person, you PI local to you that can work for you. You don't travel in a PI that has to say he found 14 people, but can't prove he found 14 people. That's the kind of nonsense you get yourself into when you monkey F around with these stupid idiots on the internet. We owe nobody nothing. We don't answer to anybody. And we are here for the victims. And we are not going to have victims pimped out
across YouTube for financial gain for these people that have not lifted one finger to help, and spend 15 minutes on the case and 3 hours complaining about another creator. That's not a true crime. That's a drama channel. We are true crime here. We help. We don't sit on our hands. We don't complain about problems. If we see a problem, we get off of our butts and do something about it. That's what we are about. That's what we will continue to do. And we will continue to expose people that have unclean hands. And SF investigates, your hands are unclean in this entire mess. Shame on you. Shame on the shenanigans you and your people brought into this matter. This is about Layla Santanello. This is not about your pocketbook. This is not about your need to be in the middle of the spotlight. This is not about your need to be financially secured. This is a person's life. And if you are worth your weight of salt as a PI, you would have done what any other reputable PI would have done and advised them to get a PI in their state and in the county where the girl disappeared from. That would have been the suggestion of every single PI that I work with. But you, for some reason, don't want to handle yourself like other PIs. Maybe that's why you're such a failure. You might be nice to people and blow smoke up their ass, especially families that are relying on you. But even all those families that came to bat for you, not one of them could say you found their family member. They just said you're a nice guy. Well, we're not looking for a nice guy. We're looking for somebody that can find somebody. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. And since no one person exists that matches that description, we get things like search parties together. There's no Superman cape on the back of me or the people that come out there and look on the ground. And I heard another creator said, oh, it's just walking. Well, listen, creator, since it's just walking, it's so easy, and you're in Tennessee, buddy, why don't you come out and do a search with Bullhorn Betty? I bet you by the time you are done, you're going to say that felt like work. Because it's not just walking. It's scaling up hills. It's having a 100-pound backpack on you trying to scale a hill and trying to keep yourself balanced as you check out something you see. It's not easy. Not easy. When we bring people out there, we just want them to point out things. We don't want them to go up in the woods and look. That's what we do. So, all right, guys, I'm turning on the phones for those that would like to call in. This is going to be a kind of a long live. Oh, thank you. Love you too. This is going to be kind of, oh, don't call in just yet. Hold on. I just realized I don't have this up. And if you call in, you're going to be doxxed and you're going to dox yourself. And then I'm going to be blamed for it. And they're going, oh my God. Well, and this is another thing I want everybody to be. What people call doxed. First of all, it is not illegal. It is not illegal anywhere in the United States to call somebody by their lawful legal name. I just want to let everybody know that out there. I can say your name. You can say my name. If there's an unwritten rule that you want anonymity, my suggestion would be don't be picking on people. Don't be bullying on people, because that's a good way for you not to be anonymous anymore. If you want to be anonymous and do your true crime or even do your political thing or even hell, do whatever you do. Don't be picking on people. Don't be bullying people. And you'll stay anonymous. Nobody will care whether you stay anonymous or not. But when you start doing stuff that can get you sued, you don't have the ability to remain anonymous anymore. And that's what people don't understand. You don't have the ability. You can be sued and be sued in the United States of America, and there is not one court in this country that will prevent that from happening. Not one, with good cause. Not one. All right. Phones are on, guys. Phones are on.
So I don't know, Aileen, if you are out there in the YouTube world watching and you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. I was going to let you come up on panel, but I didn't see you in the chat today. So when I do see you, I'll let you up. Excuse me. So what does it say, Tammy? By the way, Tammy, thank you. It's nice to see you, love bug. LOL, I got an 18-year-old doing her schoolwork. She just got out of social service. They have prepared for nothing. She will not be another victim of the system. I hope not, you know? I really hope not. They do need to do more for these kids in the system. The problem is that I see is, especially in the system, is that they spend so much money. There's no when you have the government involved, no matter what it is, whether it's putting a fence around a freaking school, you take a job that costs $20,000 and make it a $100,000 project, right? Something that would cost the normal business $20,000 somehow cost our schools or our government $100,000 for the exact same thing. That's our first problem. Our first and foremost, that's our first problem. Just we want money being utilized in the best way possible. We have all this money going out. Very little money. Well, we got a lot of money coming in too, but it's being shipped across to Pakistan and everything else, so it can come back to our politicians' private bank accounts. So, you know, we're getting screwed there. But at the end of the day, we spend so much money trying to house these kids. It doesn't make any sense. Why is my mom, if you're calling, I don't know why it didn't ring. Did you guys hear the phone ring? I'll call you back, Ma. I saw you calling in, but I didn't see the ring. Weird. That was weird. Huh. Is it not ringing? There it is. I don't know what happened.
Hello, darling. I'm here.
I don't know what's going on. Hello?
Hello.
Mom,
Hello,
are you answering the phone? It just stopped ringing again.
Huh.
My mom must be having, it's either she's having technical difficulties or I'm having technical difficulties or she's trying to call me when I'm trying to call her. I don't know. There we go. Now it's actually ringing. I can hear it. You can hear her?
You have technical difficulties.
How are you guys able to hear her and I'm not?
Unplug your earplug.
Hold on, guys. Something's not right. Let me turn this whole system off. Let me get my other stuff back. It's you, Betty. Yeah, it must be me. I can hear her. I can't hear her. There you are. I can hear you now.
Let me be the entertainment while you fix your technical
I fixed it. I can hear you now. It's got to be my equipment. There's something going on with the sound card. It's not working right. It's Bluetoothed in, okay. So it's not like I have it in control. It's just not working right. But I'll figure it out.
Well, it's the gremlins. What did I call you for?
You called me to tell me you love me and I'm your favorite daughter and I have $1 million trust fund and I'm getting a new car and I won the lottery. That's what you're calling to tell me.
Okay. Well, some of that's true, but no. Yeah, I think
Did you hear that, Taylor? Did you hear that, Taylor? I got Mom. Mom's mine. Keep your hands off my mama.
Oh, please. She's got Dad for the next month. So she's
you should be happy. Footloose and fancy free. When we going dancing?
There's nowhere to go dancing and I've got a knee replacement. And besides, I got a DIY list the length of your arm. But if it would quit raining. What did I call about? Oh, congratulations on the Crotch Watch thumbnail. And what was I gonna say? Oh my goodness. What were you just talking about? About being good. About being good. Okay. I saw some posts about people changing their names and making them very long. And I've got 3 layers of names on YouTube for that very reason.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have to be like that. They're making people have to think about that. A small group of people are intimidating people so much that they have to literally go into hiding just to have an opinion, but they're complaining about how they're being stripped of their opinion. Give me a freaking break.
Yeah. So I have 3 layers of names on YouTube. So God bless them if they can figure me out. But
Oh, they will. They
already
it's
have.
okay, but don't sit there and act like you're something you're not, or act like you're innocent when you've been churning all this stuff behind the scenes for a specific narrative, and now you got caught with your pants down and you're screaming and crying.
Yeah, well, whatever. What was I gonna say? The Delphi. I think the Delphi, between the Giglio murders and Delphi and Koberger, I think we've got some fabulous trials coming up that we're going to be glued to. Oh, and the gal in Orlando that killed her boyfriend in the suitcase. I remember the day that broke. I remember it. It's been almost 2 years. I'm going, oh my God.
Well,
and I remember.
How did the guy get in the suitcase? Like, why would the guy get in the suitcase to be suffocated to death? I mean, like, I can't imagine. I guess I could imagine. She pulled the suitcase up. If he's passed out cold, but it just doesn't make. I don't know. That's just.
Well, it's like, who knows? He could have been drugged. He could have, I don't know. But the thing is, your sister had just left Orlando and went to Louisiana. And it broke on Fox 35 in Orlando. And I'm going, OMG, she left too soon.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was, I couldn't believe it. And I remember her sitting out there in that heat in the sidewalk saying, I don't know how it happened. I don't know how, blah, 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 blah. And then they found out he was in a suitcase and she threw him down the stairs. And then she recorded him. It was like, what the? But anyways.
People are just violent. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know how it's funny. I don't know how this is a joke. I don't know what is wrong with the people of some of these people of our country. Like, I just don't get it. I don't know if I ever will. I really don't.
Sorry, I'm going to get some more coffee. But anyways, Koberger, they're reaching for straws. If they have to go as far as using the Crotch to litigate whether or not they have cameras, that is the lowest of lows. I think that anyone could go to. Just like Murdaugh, I think trying to attack the clerk, and I guarantee you, those guys aren't below bribing someone.
Yeah.
They're not below bribing.
I don't know. I think, after seeing Dick and, Dick Harpootlian in like the wild, like at Crime Con, he seemed like a normal Joe. I don't know if he jeopardized himself. I think he
No. I'm just being
ethically, but I think he's going to push the envelope.
No, I'm thinking in layers of support. I have there's so many ways to bribe someone.
Yeah.
Hide assets, hide properties, hide, whatever.
Yeah.
A book, money from a book,
Yeah.
But we won't go there. But anyways, I lost my whole train of thought, and it'll come to me as soon as I hang up. But I won't keep you long. It's Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday. It is Tuesday, September 26th. Oh, crap. I missed Aunt Angela's birthday.
Well,
I
it's
just
never
realized
too
I missed
late.
Aunt Angela and Billy's birthday. I missed everybody's birthday.
She's camping in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I told her because we missed each other. She didn't sleep the night before we were coming back. Olivia was going over to North Carolina. I was coming home. I was going to stop by and have lunch with her, but I didn't realize Spartanburg was only 3 hours away from where I was because we weren't all the way into Tennessee because there was the races. Yeah. And so long story short, we just didn't meet up, but I told her when I went up here this next time I would meet her for lunch or whatever.
Well, this is a joke. Dad calls me yesterday. And of course, he's sleeping on an air mattress, right?
I love these air mattresses.
And it's the same air mattress you slept on.
Yep.
And he says, I can't stand it. I got to have a bed. So he's ordering a bed for that room. And I'm going, oh, my God, he's not coming home.
Hey, you know what? He hasn't spent good quality time with Taylor in a while, so this will be fun for him. I mean, he's probably enjoying the new scenery, not having to do anything.
So anyhow, he's ordering a real bed.
I'm actually gonna order a new mattress for my bed too, because I just bought this mattress, like three or 4 years ago, but I don't know. I guess just time to change out the mattress.
Well, for almost 6 months, it was your office because of the roof issue. So, anyways, I splurged here on mattresses. So I know I can hear the haters now. All she did was talk about mattresses.
Oh, well, let him talk. Let him talk. You know what? It's just I'm over the childish bull crap. I answer to nobody. I'm tired of somebody thinking I answer to. I answer, Mom. You don't even tell me what to do, and you gave birth to me. These other, nope, nope.
All right, baby. I'll let you go.
All right. I love you.
I love you. I love everyone. Have a great day.
Mom. Bye-bye. Bye. Don't work too hard.
Oh, I won't.
All right. I love you. Aw. Mama Bullhorn. She's a delight to have. And you know what? She likes to break things up. She likes to break things up. It's really, to be honest with you, the reason you go, because we don't, I'm here and I work so much. What people don't realize is I literally work. I work from daylight to dark here. When I'm home, I work from daylight to dark. When I'm in the field, I work from daylight to dark. Like, this is the first time my mom's talked to me today. Okay. Like, this is and this is probably going to be the last time she talks to me today because I'm going to be working. So, she kind of keeps, she lets me know what's going on. So if you're wondering why she does, it's because she's talking to her daughter. And it's probably the only time she's going to talk to her today. So just, I know people think I fake work here, but I don't fake work. I actually really work. And it's very time consuming. It takes a lot of time. It's, a lot of stuff is going on. There's cases all the time coming on this desk that I have to read through and send out what needs to be sent out on it. And if it develops, it develops. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So there's a lot of stuff that we don't even talk about here that I've researched and went through, and those things I may talk about on a later date, but it's a lot of work behind here. I can tell you that it's a lot of work. We're boring. I know we are boring people. And I was just talking about that. I'm like, it's so funny because all these people act like I have this this wild and adventurous life, but it's like it's almost comical because I live this boring life. I mean, my life is glued to this chair like 10 hours a day. I mean, like I barely go to the grocery store to get groceries. And when I do have to go get groceries, it's begrudgingly, because I got to get up and leave and stop working to go get freaking food. And so my life is not that's why I say these people are lying to you guys about me. I know they think they're being truthful, but they are so not. My life is boring. It's not interesting at all. It's really not. I literally sit here all day and work. I don't date. So it's not like, there's some kind of tryst going on behind the scenes that's occupying my time. I mean, it's just not like that. Right. I'm comfortable in life. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm fine working. It is what it is, And so nothing spectacular or exciting. I guess the illusion of not knowing what my life is like is making their imaginations go wild or something. I don't know, but this is it. What you see is what you get. This is it, babe. This is it. Now you know why I relish to go out and do these cases for myself, because I'm working on these cases. I'd rather be out there working on these cases than in here working on these cases. It's tough when you have questions or stuff. You have to search here for hours to look for it. If I'm in the field and I have a question, it literally takes me minutes to find the answer, because I can just go where I need to go. I don't have to hunt for it. And so there's a lot of differences into why I like being personally there as opposed to being here. But either way, we're here. But I just want to let people know, like, my life's not that spectacular. It's not even that exciting. Quite frankly, you guys would be bored to death if you lived in my shoes, right? You'd be surprised I'm not out protesting more, like just to give myself something to do, right? But I got a lot of work. I got a lot of work here behind the scenes. Lots of work. Never ending tasks, a whole bunch of reading. I think that's literally it. It's just a whole bunch of reading. I think that's what's screwing with my eyes. I'm reading so much. Never had eye problems before, and then boom. But I always heard that once you hit 40, somewhere in your 40s, your eyes start changing. I've always heard that. So it could just be life, right? It could just be old age, okay? It really could just be old age. But it could be reading too. I read a lot. What else do we have? I think we have some other stuff here on Rex Heuermann. I think that's about it. The Sun. You guys know how I feel about the Sun. I'm not a fan of the Sun. The Sun. I've literally read, I don't know how many articles from the Sun, and when I've been in town and I've read these articles, I've corroborated the articles, and the articles were not corroboratable. I mean, they just weren't. The information was bunk. It was theory, speculation, and did not hold water when we actually looked into it. So whenever I have a Sun article, if you guys been around for a while on this channel, you know I make this declaration almost every time I read a Sun article, okay? If you don't know anything about me, that's one thing you know about me. I cannot stand Spirit Airlines. I cannot stand Frontier Airlines. I do not like the nickel and diming of Apple products. This is Betty.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Who is this and where are you calling from?
This is Amanda, and I'm calling from Texas. I just want to say I'm your #1 fan.
Oh, well, sweet. I always like to hear from fans. So what do you think about, let me ask you this. Do you think it was inappropriate for me to do Crotchgate?
Not really.
It was a funny argument. I mean, that was one of the most hilarious things I think we have heard in true crime in a really long time.
Right.
Wow.
I've been watching Burnt Toast and everything, and I'm sorry that she's putting you through this stuff. I'm so sorry about that.
Well, it's not just Burnt Toast. It was Burnt Toast. She died off, and then we had another Yahoo decide that she was just going to be bigger and badder and try to take my channel, and that we see where that's going.
What was the channel's name, if you don't mind me?
No,
asking?
I'm in active litigation, so as far as that, I'm not going to really bring up.
Okay, that's understandable. I just can't believe I got through, honestly.
Yeah, well, the phones, I kept the phones on. To be honest with you, I'm surprised you got through too, because I thought the phones were off. I was about to move on right when the phones rang. So what do you think about the whole Bryan Kohberger case?
I haven't really been paying too much attention to it, but I do have a question for you.
And here we go. Okay, go ahead.
How do you feel about the BTK case? Or have you been paying any attention to it?
Well, the BTK case was back whenever I was a little kid. And, the whole thing with him and Catherine Rumsland, I really do believe that BTK has a lot more victims out there. I feel that with genetic genealogy, we're going to get a lot of answers over the next 5-10 years about what happened in the 90s, because that seems to be the focus of their the targets of their investigations for the cold cases in the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I also, if you don't mind, another question. What got you into true crime or following these cases?
The Gabby Petito case. I mean, I've been watching true crime and lawyer shows since I was a kid. And, then came the Forensic Files, the first 48 hours. So, of course, I've always been intrigued to it. But I was a political activist in Manatee County. And a friend of mine, after being reached out to by the Petito family, asked me if I wanted to help bring awareness to a case. And that's what we did.
Oh, that's cool. If you don't mind, can you explain more about this Kohlberger case?
So Kohlberger, the Idaho 4 is, 4 University of Idaho students that were slain in their sleep on November 13th last year. And they lived on the outskirts of the University of Idaho. It was like the well-known sorority type of like sorority row area, just off campus more so. But in the middle of the night, apparently or allegedly, Brian Kohlberger, a 28-year-old PhD student from Washington State University, entered their home and killed 4 of them inside that home.
Oh, so it's the Ohio case.
Idaho.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I heard a little bit about that. I just didn't know it that was a guy who did it.
So I just out of curiosity, you can call here and say you're my number one fan. I did 2 trips down to Idaho covering this case, but you know nothing about it. Out of curiosity, how can you explain that?
Oh yes. I actually just started watching you here recently.
Okay.
And I like your cooking. Your cooking videos kind of got me into it, and your cooking posts and stuff like that. I watched. My first video was the last cooking video you made, and that's when I decided to be a fan.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you calling. Thank you so much, and have a great day. God bless.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. We have a fan from Texas. Nice. So we always love hearing fans. And we just realized that my cooking brings in the dough. No pun intended, right? Especially since I was using fake dough. I hate fake biscuits. I hate fake potatoes. I hate fake. Like, we are human beings. We are to consume real food. I'm sorry. We are to consume real food. If it's burger, it should be burger. It should come from a moo. Okay? If it's a potato, it should come from the refrigerator. You should have to peel it. It shouldn't be powdered. Just add water. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of people that have to rely on that. They're horrible cooks, and that's the only way they're going to make an edible meal. I get it. I get it. I love you. That is why I'm making cooking videos. So you never have to rely on fake again. Okay? I'm going to teach you how to roll out your own. We can take this anywhere, guys. I mean, we can take this anywhere. First of all, I am the Bubba Gump of chicken. I am the Bubba Gump of chicken. Okay? The bottom line is there is nobody that can cook chicken the way I cook chicken. I literally have 1,000 different recipes of chicken. I am the Bubba Gump of chicken, okay? I'm not the Bubba Gump of shrimp, okay? Bubba Gump's got shrimp. But I am the Bubba Gump of chicken. I can literally cook chicken every day of the week, and you will enjoy that meal because it'll be different every day of the week. We got sauteed chicken, sweet and sour chicken, chicken and yellow rice. We got chicken dumplings. I'm telling you, fried chicken, baked chicken, fire grilled chicken. We got honey barbecue chicken. We got, I'm telling you, I can go on. So, anyways, I am the Bubba Gump of chicken. Okay. So you just stick around. We'll do a few more. Actually, you know, it's funny is I got a rotisserie chicken in the refrigerator right now. If you don't believe me, I'll pull it out. I ate rotisserie chicken yesterday. That is about to go into a pot of water. It's going to be cooked down. It's going to make the best chicken and rice, chicken and noodle, or chicken and dumpling soup ever because I'm about to make it. It takes about 4 or 5 hours, but it's not a whole lot of work. You just kind of throw it in the pot and forget it. BHB made me feel old when she said, I was a kid. I'm so sorry, Tammy. You know, I don't really try to make people feel old, but I'm sorry if I'm rubbing off. Okay, because if I feel old, baby, you're going to feel old right with me. I'm one of those friends that want to take you to hell with me, okay? If you're going for the ride, you're going all the way, babe, okay? You're my ride or die. I need to stop. I have to tell you, Amanda, you put me off for a little bit from Texas. I honestly thought you were a troll. I thought I was waiting for the shoe to drop the whole time I was on the phone with you, and I apologize for that. I really do. I think you're sweet. I'm glad you didn't go troll on me. But I swear to God, I did think you are. So God bless you. Thank you. Just keep watching. It gets better. Trust me, it gets better. And not everything you hear about me on the streets of YouTube is true. And there's no way it possibly could be. They think it is, but I mean, we actually have brains over here. Anyways, I think that's about it, guys. I think we're kind of done with our day. I know I've been here for an extra hour, but I wanted to throw something at you. You know, you guys didn't see me Sunday. It kind of took I haven't had a day off in a while, and I took Sunday off. I wasn't meaning to take Sunday off. It was just after church. I just felt like, I just needed the day. And I'm very thankful that I took the day. I felt rested yesterday. We had a great live yesterday. We had an amazing live today. We have a winner of our very long, our very long crotch gate thumbnail contest. It would have been more impactful when it happened, when all this happened. Like now it's been like weeks. It's been like weeks, and now we're finally getting to it. So it's, whatever, better late than never, right? Better late than never. But it was great. I had a great time doing it. There's only a few times, and I guarantee it's going to be a very, very long time before we have something that hilarious that we could do something like that with, where it's not so disrespectful. I know people are going to turn it and like, oh my God, I can't believe it. We can't help it. There's going to always be people like that. But at the end of the day, this is a horrible case, and we were able to literally take something that was really horrible, take this ridiculous defense argument, and we were able to make it fun for the people that were watching this. Is this case fun? Of course not. But I think the objective was just to talk about the ridiculousness of the argument. And I think that we portrayed the ridiculousness of this argument that they have for the reason of trying to kick the cameras out of the courtroom. At the end of the day, the press has the right to be there. We, as the public, have the right to be there. Now, we don't know what's going on here, but I can tell you, I trust Steve's intuition. Let me just be very clear on that. Steve Gonsalves, I've met the man. I know that that man understands what's going on. He's got a good handle on everything, okay? He might be broken inside from his daughter, but trust me, when I tell you this man has a good handle on what's going on and how he's got a handle on it. And when he comes before the people, now the victim's father, he comes before the people and he says, you know, everything in this case is secret. And it's giving me a bad taste in my mouth. This is the victim's father. This is where I get my knickers in the wad. Because Steve Gonzalez lost his world. Olivia lost her best friends. Christy lost her pride and joy. They have the absolute most damage. Just like every other victim of Bryan Kohberger's, their family has the absolute most damage. The state's not damaged. Bryan's not damaged. It's those families. It's their friends. It's all the extra victims from his crimes. And when their family's coming out and saying everything is secret, everything's being withheld from us, you're keeping everybody out, you're keeping us out, and now you want to throw the cameras out, I'm listening to that man. Because he knows the information he's getting. He knows he's been blocked out. He knows he's been locked out. A person that has lost the most out of everybody being locked out of the case and now being told that he can't even watch the case against the suspect that brutalized his daughter and her best friend. I think that is morally wrong. We have a right to be there. The public has the right to be there. If they don't want to turn this into a circus, it would be in the best interest of the court to continue to allow the cameras in the courtroom, because all it's going to do is push us all to that community, and we will overrun the community. It's a small community. It really is. But and because of that, by them forcing us all to come there in person, it's going to cause an unintended effect that's going to be bad in that community. But you can't take all of our options away from us and then be mad at us for overtaking a community. But that's what's going to end up happening. And so I really think that the judge is very cognizant of that. I think it's playing in the back of his mind. And I really think he's going to do the right thing and not kick the cameras out of the courtroom. And I think a lot of that's going to be, one, he doesn't want to deal with the Supreme Court over the matter. I really don't think he wants to deal with them. I don't think any judge really wants to go have their rulings being scrutinized by the appellate court. Okay, first of all, I think that's always in the back of any judge's mind. The second reason is because I think he knows his courtroom is small. The courthouse is small. The community is small. And whenever you take those cameras out, you're going to have an influx of a lot of media organizations, a lot of YouTubers, social media, alternative media organizations moving into their community. And they're going to have to move into their community because once you get there, it's cheaper just to stay there than it is to keep traveling back and forth. So without those cameras in the courtroom, you're forcing a lot of people in that community that doesn't need to be there, that are happy being here and taking the pooled footage. I'm perfectly fine taking the pool. When the trial comes, I'm going there. I will be there for the trial, come hell or high water. If I've got to mortgage the house, I'm going to be in Idaho for the trial. Whenever the trial is, we will be there front and center. This channel will be there. There's not going to be any ifs, ands, or buts about it. We will be there. One way or another, we are going to be in Idaho during the trial. So I just think, I'm not sure how I feel. I just feel like this is not going to go anywhere. But they're going to constantly keep bringing it up because I feel like it's just a way to slow the case down. It's just the way to take the focus, off the case for a little bit and point it to someplace else. So I don't think this is going to be the last time the cameras come up. I hope it is, but I don't think it will. I think they're going to keep just spending money, kicking the ball down the road, kicking the ball down the road, kicking the ball down the road. That's what I think is going to happen. But I really wish they would stop with all this secretive stuff. It's making everybody feel uncomfortable. I've never seen so much secrecy in a case in my life. I mean, I could be wrong. There may be one that's more secret. But please, if you find a case that's more secret than the Brian Kohberger case, I'd like to know it. Let's review it. You know? So please, if you know of a case that's been more secret than this case here in the history of the United States, I'd like to see that case, if you know it. And I'm talking to all my legal professionals. You guys are out there in these chat rooms and in these YouTube lives and stuff like that. When you're there with a say you're in one of the attorneys' ones, there's a few attorneys that come on here and explain these cases. Ask them that question. Ask them that question. All right, guys. You guys have a great Tuesday. I love you. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Tomorrow, we'll see how the scheduling is going to go. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a regular live in the morning or if it's going to have to wait until the afternoon or not, but we will be live tomorrow. There are other things, other obligations I have tomorrow mid-morning. So at the end of the day, we will either be live first thing in the morning or in the afternoon. I have a funny feeling it's going to be in the afternoon because of all the preparation I need to do. So I want you to have a great day. God bless you. We'll see you sometime tomorrow, but don't be waking up at the crack of dawn to listen for Bullhorn Betty. She will not be here. God bless you guys. Peace out. Oh, and I wanted to say there was 2 people that gave gift memberships yesterday. I didn't get an opportunity to thank you, and I'm so sorry for that. Sometimes I just miss them. But I always love to just reiterate. So it looks like Gigi for Life, thank you, gifted 1 membership. And ZA gifted a membership yesterday. Thank you, guys. I love you for that. Thank you so much. I think that's about it. What does it say? Okay, Angela, I told her to email you. Okay, yeah. The email's the best for speaking to me. Yeah. All right, guys. So I think that's it. That's everything that we have for today. We'll see you guys sometime tomorrow. God bless you and have a great day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.